my bones, a spark to lead us through the shadows. But can I fight the way before me? It's coursing through my soul, a road to guide us through the sorrow. Can I calm this storm inside me? I feel it in my bones, a spark to lead us through the shadows. Can I fight the way before me? It's coursing through my soul, a road to guide us through the sorrow.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Nexus night here at Card Arts. I'm joined here with Eliza today.
Hi.
This is one of the few Nexus nights we have left until the Vendetta pre-release comes out in a couple weeks. I believe here it's the 24th or the 25th, so feel free to sign up here or look at your local LGS to find out their dates. We also have a Summoner Skirmish coming up. I believe it's the only one that we have in July on Sunday, so in a couple days. So be sure to come in and either check it out in person or make sure to tune in. We're setting up with the players right now. I believe we have a really unique matchup, I'd say, coming up on stream, but the field looks fairly usual. We have a lot of regulars that love their Auroras or love their Lilia decks or things of that sort. I know there's like a handful of Master Yi players that you've probably seen around at your own LGSs as well. But I guess how do you feel about the players tonight? Have you seen anything really interesting?
Well, match 1 has no Master Yi, so that's something interesting to watch. Personally, I'm excited for the matches, and I know who I have. I don't know if you have a favorite player, but I know who I'm betting on.
Honestly, if it's not Aurora or Yi, I'm probably betting on that player.
I love my rogue deck, so.
All right, Riftbound players, welcome to round 1. Time starts now.
This is the one where you can spend the buff to recall it if it would die,
yes,
right?
that is a metal set that
so you spend a buff
screen.
and a ring,
Best of metal set.
and then recall it to base. So it's like a Zonya's. And then when you conquer, it readies.
When you conquer it, ready.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I could use it again potentially.
I see. So it has it. And this is the one that you. Oh, this is the super broken
he's
set.
Swapping off of set the moment Vendetta comes out.
Plus
Now,
one for
do
each
I know
buff
what
for each
legend
unit
he's
at a
going to be
battlefield.
playing? I don't. But
So,
I'm
like, when
excited
he's
to see what
buffed,
he cooks up.
he counts himself. So he's 7 out of battlefield.
Got it.
He's 6 in base, 7 in battlefield.
Don't know
He's
if I have this
And
matchup
has
too
tank.
familiarized.
Wow, okay. Very
I
cool.
played a lot into
You already got me, yeah?
like being
Yep.
a Yi or
Okay, cool.
Leon.
Shall we roll?
Sure, let's do it.
You want to go odd even?
Okay, I'll go odd.
Colin at the top in region.
All right, your choice, good sir.
All right. I will.
I think
I guess
set
we
was
flip them, right?
definitely
Yeah,
a lot
first.
more prominent
yeah.
in set 1 and set
Conservatory.
2.
I will go-
Especially with the
Yeah, I'll go first.
introduction of
Sounds good.
Starcross.
Why
Set
am I
has
saying that?
definitely
It's like,
dropped a little
when
bit
would
in
I- when would I
popularity,
not?
but there's
When
still
would I
some
literally
diehard
not
set
go
fans out
first?
there.
Looks like we have the battlefield set up. We have Monastery of Hirana and then Ravenbloom Conservatory.
I imagine Diana here wants to mull at least one of those 4 drops there he has in hand to try and fish for a 2-drop here so he can play his first turn.
Yeah, did we get a chance to see who was going first in this? Oh, it does look like Diana's really good.
Good to go.
All right,
All right.
good to go.
Good luck, man.
Thank you.
That's
too.
a really good hand.
Draw.
Okay, and going second. so
2.
we might
I'll
just
play
let
Irresistible
Diana go
Pace. Pass.
Dragging me to the battlefield. Huh?
Yep. It's filthy.
Interesting seeing the Fae Folk first too instead. I don't know if we've seen the Fae Folk too familiar, but it might be a play into Rengar if they run that.
That's a really good opener too.
Yeah.
Because Fae Folk into if they play the normal Diana curve, pulls Diana in,
Channel
and then they
1,
can
channel
immediately
2.
kill her off.
Yeah, we'll
Draw.
see on Yishmael's side again. the
Interesting.
Diana
Interesting.
coming in for their turn. And then Crotus is probably going to determine to see if they want to pull in that Diana. Trying to get a good look at their hand to see if we have anything to attack it. There's the Rengar. You can see
Yeah, that's all kinds of terrible.
Developing is an option. Looking at his hand, he doesn't have too much in
Can't
the
cast
way
him
of
anyway. No
buffs
yellow runes.
or
I know. I was like, are these all orange?
Yeah, they're all
being
orange.
able to
Okay, I
disrupt
see.
his opponents. I guess he has double
I
sabotage,
just
but
pass.
that would deramp him way too much,
I just pass.
way too early
That's,
into this game.
That's an
Yeah,
unfortunate.
no
thing.
yellow runes to bring out the set either, so it looks like he's just going to pass it over and play conservatively here. I'm going to be a bit behind in point tempo, being the first player, but might be able to bring it back with the Rengar play.
I think he's definitely playing it smart here. Knowing me, I would have just swung and died, but
Let's
Swung and then pulled him
here.
down, or just swung and gone
sounds
to a
great.
different
And then
battlefield.
this is his showdown,
yeah,
right? So I
swing,
can-
get 1 point, sacrifice
Yeah.
my
Is
Fae
this
Folk,
considered a
which
showdown?
Yeah, it
isn't
is.
a good
It is.
play at all.
Oh, really? I can even predict on this.
I mean, giving up
Okay.
this first turn
Alright,
as
we'll
well, we
predict
get, Yishma with
Pretty
the
good card.
Diana on the Ravenbloom
That card is pretty
Conservatory,
rare.
just
It
in a
is
place
it is
where
pretty
she wants to be,
I'll bottom
so
that,
it gives
and
him a
we
pretty
reveal
split
the top,
advantage,
right?
Yeah.
tapping the legend to kind of dig for
Fair bargain.
the spells that he needs in the deck.
Draw that.
I wonder if he wants to play a Vex to the battlefield
The
here and
one.
immediately deny set, or if he wants to try and develop a Hui. I don't see a Hui there in his hand, so he might look to develop the Vex instead.
Yeah, I think he got it off of the mulligan. He mulliganed 2 cards, and I think I saw Hui. But if he had a Vex, and he was aware of kind of the Rengar coming in, he might just throw down that Vex to prevent any Rengar damage coming in.
Sure.
I'm pretty sure I saw 2 4-drops in his hand, so he might have mulligan. Yep, he
Yeah, there's the
mulliganed
Vex.
away 1 Vex. He had another in
pretty
his
good.
hand.
Honestly, that's
Channel
the
1,
most annoying card when I'm
Channel
playing
2.
against
So
these
brutal.
purple decks. You know, we're seeing a lot of stuff in Vendetta, a lot of cards that are preventing that like stun or preventing that movement and gaining, I believe it was like a Gangplank that if it was stunned or if it got minus might, it got +3 might instead, which was insane to me. I know there's another like green Akali card that also has something to do with preventing that. But Crotus here now on 6 runes, sees the Vex out, so can't make the line with the Rengar. Trying to figure out what other out he has to see if he can challenge this Vex or get rid of it somehow. I don't see a way for him to really protect the set either. He has the set signature spell, but again, that Vex kind of shutting off that path as well. So kind of a really tough spot, especially with this set build. I know it's like a very thin line you play with this, whereas I know I've seen interviews of, I think Colin is the one that made this, but it feels a very thin line that you have to play of, like if you're going to like win all out or struggle to get by.
Oh, for sure. I think here, if he plays a little bit more conservatively, maybe swings into the other battlefield, maybe develops,
so
he
weird.
definitely has a way out. The thing to watch here, if he does swing in with Fey Folk, is a potential gust from Diana, as she still is holding up 2 energy.
That's such a
and
greedy play.
his hand doesn't
You
look
want
too
it, huh?
good either. It looks like 2 Sabotage as well, a Rengar, a Challenge, and a Call to Glory. So the only play honestly that I would move here is trying to develop, but again, having the Gust or having a Starcross, which is another card you see in a lot of purple decks. It might be just a huge struggle for him to get back into the game at this point.
The intrusive thoughts make me want to play double sabotage here.
Just double Sabotage? Or at
Yeah,
least,
double sabotage. Get rid of those spells.
I mean, you
De-ramp a lot.
at least play one and still play the Rengar.
Yeah, you can
Or
definitely still play
if
one
you
for
wanna
info.
double Sabotage into sets,
I don't
and
know
like
about
rip
that
any of
one.
those spells on the hand.
Yes, very, very tough position for Crotus to be in. I've definitely had positions like this before where I have no units in hand and a bunch
I'm
of
gonna do something a little
spells.
crazy because I'm just
Yeah,
so far
I
behind.
did see the
It just- it
card
feels a little
pattern that
insane.
was revealed from
Right.
the
That's
too.
just me in a nutshell.
He did just say he's gonna do
So,
something a little crazy, so I want to see something a little crazy. All right, give us the line that you're thinking of, Crotus.
The Fey Folk and the
Alright,
Call
I'm
of
gonna play
Glory.
3 Call of Glory.
Yeah.
+3 might, right?
Yeah, plus 3. Yeah.
And then he only has 3 up for the double hard bargain, but not
Play
enough
1.
to actually hard bargain on Diana's side.
I'll play Showstopper on Irresistible Fey Folk.
Showstopper, okay.
Sure.
So that would bring it up to 5, if I'm doing the math correctly. The Showstopper buffs the unit and then moves.
That's interesting. We don't want to sabotage here for the.
I'm gonna go here.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it
And-
does get around the Gust, because I don't know if there's any other
gonna
cards that
pull-
you'd be scared of with one showing on the Diana
Pull
player
Vex.
side.
Pay the
Vex, yep.
He has 2 though. He has 2 total, so he can definitely play something like Smokescreen.
Oh, I see.
No results.
Moves the Vex over.
So yeah, you're at 5,
5.
4. I assume you're passing focus.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then deals with the Vex immediately, so...
Challenge.
Immediately challenges.
Deal
Hard
damage equal
bargain
to their
probably
might to
gonna
one
drop
another.
here.
That resolves.
Yeah. So
That resolves. Okay.
Do you want to do this, by the way? You're,
Oh
you're
wait,
at
that's
point,
not
right?
1 energy.
Yeah,
That's
But
1
you
point.
are at 1 point.
I am at 1
I
point.
see,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm at 1 point.
point
Do I want to
counters.
do that?
So a big tempo swing back,
yeah, that's a
getting
good
rid of the
question,
Diana
actually.
on the
Damn.
Raven
Do
Blue
that.
and the Vex, which kind of limits a lot of that stack.
Yeah, I think I will.
Clearing up a lot of that way. And he gets the
Good turn.
draw.
This is
And-
exhausted technically.
What's up?
Or off
Is it
of the
exhausted
draw.
technically?
No, actually, it's not. And it can
Oh,
move,
'cause of the
it can-
showstopper.
and it can move
Oh,
back.
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
'cause of
okay. Do
showstopper.
you want to move it back?
Yeah,
or-
I'll move
okay,
it back.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, your turn.
Moving back to keep your unit safe. Huge here.
Yeah, it sets him up for the Rengar play again next turn if anything happens, or just, developing a lot easier with the set.
3 cards for 2. Well,
All right, I want to see what
And a shit
Diana
ton of
does here
runes.
on the bounce back. She has a lot more runes
Set
up
in a
than Set.
nutshell.
Set only has
7.
3. 3 to 7.
Yeah, it might just be a position to try and redevelop and get back into the game. There was already a showstopper and a challenge use, so it might be a lot safer for them to develop with like a Hui and maybe another 2-drop. If I'm doing my math correctly, should be pretty safe to make that play.
I would even go as far as to say we can play Hui here and then we can hold up 3 energy.
Pull me back in.
3 energy, because we have the one from Diana as well.
Yes, but that's only if Hui doesn't get
I'm just gonna spend
challenged.
this turn.
Sure.
So
Good.
Got some
developing
little
the
guys here.
student.
Yes.
Damn, that's a lot of
Okay.
development.
A bunch of 2-drops there, hoping for a lot of the card filtering, the hand filtering there. It's a lot. It's pretty dangerous, but I guess he gets advantage off of being moved by the Fey Folk. If the Fey Folk targets any of the move cards.
I wonder if he has any more ways to buff his units in his hand. He can Fey Folk to a battlefield and then play another unit to possibly eliminate, I would say the biggest threat is Raven Bloom here. Take that Raven Bloom out.
Yeah, I'd be pretty worried about having only 2
Yeah, it just
two
seems kind of
energy up.
bad.
And again, that Raven Bloom student being
All
cold,
seems
not
bad.
being able to buff it too much.
Right.
So all we see is hard bargain, another purple Vex,
Right here.
Hui, and something else in the hand.
No response.
Yeah. 2.
Okay.
Deciding
three.
to move in and not pull anything.
First mate. Ready. Move it
On the
back.
first mate,
2.
it's protecting
Go
this.
Oh my
and
Fey
then
folks
goodness.
the second
are
one down.
irresistible.
They are so irresistible.
Very irresistible.
I want to see the double Fey Folk conquer here.
So you go into the Diana's turn, he should be able to very safely conquer. Keep up the point tempo here. Just worried about what happens after, and again, being aware in orange at any point with 5 runes could drop down the Rengar on the next turn.
Diana's ramping very nicely though. Honestly, I think she has an open turn here to double conquer with Merchant, maybe a Raven Bloom on the other battlefield, and then just hold up all her runes to try and defend. Or alternatively, play a Hui to base and
Start here, move
just
trigger.
sack the 2-drops.
Yeah, I think I've been in this position a lot of the times too, where you have a lot of information, and he might just be trying to figure out what he wants to hand filter with a lot of these like discard and draw moves. So we do have enough to eventually develop a way though, which is only one of the best cards in the Diana deck here. But
It's looking like he might not actually have a Hui because a lot of runes up. No Hui is dropping onto the board yet.
yeah, he might just be trying to dig for it at this point.
Which means that if his 2-drops here die, he's going to be put in a much more difficult position to play into Curtis.
Yeah. Another move for hand filtering. Looks like there's a flash, Starcraft.
You're at 2, sorry, right?
I am.
Okay, that's
didn't
a
get to see what
purple
he-
Vex.
Oh, he drew. Oh,
He discarded a purple Vex there. Not the
Yeah.
4-drop, the 5-drop
5-drop.
from Spirit Forge.
Wait. No way.
looks like the Hui is coming
No
in
Hui.
this turn, so he did find the Hui. And
I'll
then
pass.
holding 4 up plus the Diana to pass.
Very smart. Probably what I would have done as well, to be honest, if I played Diana.
Yeah, it does look like he discarded that hard bargain, so other things to potentially be afraid of. With a lot of mana, 5 mana up on the Rengar side, or the set side.
We do have Point Temple on Crotus' side, however, if he's able to double conquer and somehow keep his units safe and or develop.
Yeah, it's also kind of a hard position for Protoss because any Fey Folk move, he is either just moving another unit that benefits off of a move on Diana's side, or he's moving in with only one unit, a 1-might unit. So it's kind of hard math here that we have to determine, and we're only on, I believe, 7 runes on the side, so it'd be like a Rengar plus 1 other spell that he could play.
Right, and he doesn't have any buffs to, be able to activate Set Legend with in order to keep his units alive. Even moving in with...
Pass focus.
The first name.
For some reason, I was going to say Pit Rookie. Even if he moves in with First Mate, can get,
Yeah, that's good.
debuffed. His mic could go down or nothing. Nothing's always an option. I was gonna say Gust, but nothing's always an option.
Yeah, I think the Diana player might be a little scared of having 7 runes open on the set side. But it's a really interesting spot seeing a set deck out here without any buffs on any units.
Maybe I'm just a Gust lover. I always think, he's gonna play Gust, and I never see a Gust as being
Yeah.
used.
Honestly, I'm scared of it every time I'm playing into a purple deck with these lower might units.
I love Gust. It's probably my favorite card in my Aurelia deck.
Yeah, this might also be a different build that Curtis is running. I know he's been testing different builds of the set, like starting on the buffing set like build up from Colin. But I know he was testing a lot of different like aggro set builds as well. With the orange set, we keep buffing it and
Play Sabotage?
move it up to like 28 later.
And the Sabotage finally comes out for info. Is he going to react to it? Okay.
You see the hand, you see Tide Turner, Flash, you see Starcross, and then Diana Signature Spell.
They're all good cards.
Yeah, there's at least 2 cards that I would rip out of his hand.
Let's get Moonfall out of here.
Possible.
Yeah, it's
bottom,
always
right?
gonna be Star-Crossed
Yeah,
or
bottom.
Moonfall.
Yeah.
Let me just write these down real quick.
So
So
get rid of the
Starcross,
Moonfall there.
Tide Turner, and
Now
Did he have another Sabotage in hand?
I believe
Okay,
he had 2
cool, thank you.
Sabotages, so I might just rip the other Starcross.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would have just ripped another card right out of his hand.
Because right now we're worried about our Rengars being Starcross, because I believe
Right.
that's the only other unit we have in the hands of the set player.
pass it.
How many runes does he have to play with? He has 6 runes, so he could Sabotage play Rengar, but he shouldn't
this
move
is
that
not
Hui
looking
in,
pretty.
because even if he does move that Hui in, Hui can just discard a card, he can still flash out. Most likely
six
discard a
total.
card to try and buff that Hui past Rengar in order to
It's
kill
really
him.
hard to play a set deck if you don't draw any
Diana player has
buffs.
so many options having this many runes up, even if the Hui gets
Where's the free buffs
moved in
at?
and
Yeah,
free
for,
buffs.
for
somehow
real.
the set player goes over, he
For
always
real.
has that
Alright, let me
the
think
Right.
flash
about
back in hand.
So flash.
So we also don't have any buffs for the Call to Glory, so we can't really use that as a free card either.
Yeah, we can't really cheat out the
With Sabo.
Call to Glory.
Yeah,
Let's
so
get rid of
we're
that,
sabotaging one more card, and
Starcross.
then probably playing the Rengar.
Okay.
Yep, Starcross being up in the hand.
So that's 2 cards in Diana's hand. Was it 3 in Crotus's?
I think it's
Set?
2 now.
How many cards do you have?
Rengar
3
and
now?
Call to
2.
Glory.
2. Oh, we're tied
I
up.
see.
Yeah.
Being in
yeah.
such position, I
We're
guess
tied, we're
all I'm
tied.
trying to figure out is if I want to pull in another unit to try and kill it with the Rengar.
Right.
Um,
Alternatively, he can always play a Fey Folk, play the Rengar, kill off Traveling Merchant, and then use the other Fey Folk to pull in Ravenbloom as well. But then you'd be left with no cards in hand
Kill all that.
if
That sucks.
he were to move the Hui in to conquer next turn.
yeah, it's a really risky
Sorry, man.
play
I'm not trying to be a pain in the ass.
because
This is just like
kind of
behind the
hoping
8 ball. I gotta play like
doesn't get
outside,
anything for it.
outside the box here.
It's always hard to play outside the box whenever you have 2 cards in hand,
Yeah.
unfortunately. There's only so many lines that you can play here.
It might be one of these positions where you're trying to think through every possibility and trying to
I mean,
find
it
some
doesn't
sort of way to
really
keep-
matter. I'm just
keep
gonna
that
die
going.
if I don't do something.
Curtis considering his options here.
Quite a lot, and also very little to think about.
Yeah. I mean, if you're thinking of pulling in the Ravenbloom soon, you have 1 spell left in the
I just
play,
can't. I just can't
so you
hide
can go to
forever.
3, but-
Play set.
Oh, we
Oh,
set
I
out
for
here,
okay, interesting. I like that actually. I like that play.
Just
Still no
developing the board
buffs.
more. Yeah,
Still
no
no
buffs.
buffs.
So if I do that,
So
actually,
not
let
really
me
able
think
to
about that
use
for a
the
second.
set legend.
So I could go there.
Set Legend's
Kill,
kind
kill.
of a dead card, dead legend in hand right now.
Yeah,
Or
and
on
it's,
the board.
it's really risky having the Kingpin out without any buffs either. Potentially just being able to die and not save it.
You can always put set onto the battlefield, try and pull Hui in. I don't know what set that
Because
does.
that would be
you-
that set
you're
is
gonna
it'll get
do all kinds of
plus
crazy
1 for
crap.
every buff that a friendly unit has on the
Oh,
battlefield.
For some reason, I was thinking of the Darius card where every extra unit on the battlefield he gets +1.
I see. That'd be great in this position, but it's kind of a weird spot here because you'd be defending for 5-9 into a Hui that could potentially boost itself up to 8.
Right.
I'm gonna pull in.
Does he want to pull in Traveling
No,
Merchant or
this
Raven
is
Bloom here?
crazy.
I
Just,
think
I'm
I'd
just gonna
put this
pass.
set to a
I'm sorry,
battlefield
man.
and try to
This is,
you could
I just feel like,
double pull
how
in
can
stuff
I?
with the Faithful, the two
Hui is a
drops.
problematic
Yeah.
card.
Hui is a
Just
problematic
one
card.
at a time, pull them
and-
in,
Hold the
whittle
fort.
down his potential offense.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird position that Crotus didn't, pull anything with the Faithful, knowing the 2 cards that are in the Diana player's hand.
I think Faithfolk's just such an important card, right? Because it's the only way you're gonna ever be able to force a combat with Hui.
Yeah.
She might have top decked something. I see a little moonfall there.
Alright, let's
Another
start with
moonfall after
this.
being ripped from the
Sure.
hand.
The move trigger.
That's a
Yeah.
tough one. Moving Hui into the battlefield, getting the trigger.
I'll
to
pitch this
see-
Gust.
Discarding a Gust there to draw another
Pitch
card.
and I'll
God,
pass focus.
interesting. Oh my goodness, another moonfall. After one was saboed right out of his hand.
Just the Diana player top decking everything that he needed.
Ugh.
Going to 5 points there.
It's like watching Crotus play Uno, but he doesn't know his opponent has 2+4s in his hand.
Might- 4? No.
I guess the question now is,
They want to. Is
are
that
we
the
going
third
to
conquer?
moonfall a couple times to try
I
and
guess it
clear out
was, yeah.
Crotus's board?
I just took forever for my
He only
turn, I
has
guess.
No,
one
you're good.
mana
Yeah, you're
as
good.
well.
Yeah. I think double moonfall here is just so devastating for Crotus.
Play this and then target these
Sure.
two.
Yeah, it's fair.
Okay.
Another
Got it.
movement on the way.
Maybe he's
back
playing it very
safely.
conservatively.
Yeah, I'm curious what is going through the Diana
Yeah.
player's head to play this very safe game with a Hui.
Yeah, Hui is problematic. I was like, I can kill
again,
Hui.
we
It's
know-
like,
we know there's
or
two
you
cards
could
and
just
only
draw
one-
something that makes it so Hui
I
lives.
guess he might be scared of
so
a punch first on that side, but he doesn't have the,
Really great.
the body runes to be able to cycle
Sure.
them out.
Right.
So I'm not sure. I'm trying to figure out what the Diana player is thinking with one rune open showing on the set side.
I mean, he can play very slow, very conservatively. Look at how many cards he has in hand compared to Crotus's 1 card in hand. He has, or 2 cards in hand, sorry. He has 4 cards. He has the option of pulling his merchant back to filter for more. He's up point tempo.
Yeah, I think it's a position
I
of
hate,
a lot of
hate playing
options
without
on the
Bus because
Diana
it forces me to
player's
think
side.
so recklessly.
I think the other part as
But-
well is if he pulls in the Faith
do you do?
then I believe they also get a trigger to pull in other units.
Right. Both
you
players
go
so
with
far
the
have
card?
been playing really well.
I discarded Stupefy. So I drew 3 cards this turn.
Yeah, but you had 2, right? You had two at the end of the turn. You drew 1, so you'd be at 3, and you filtered 2 cards. So you should have only 3.
No.
Sounds
I
like
just
they're
got 2 spells off
discussing
off Hui.
the game
Oh, you get to draw a
state.
card. My bad.
Yeah,
Sorry.
You're good.
Yeah, that's right. Hui can just draw you cards.
Yeah, you
That's
should know
right.
considering the play with the Raven Bloom soon, trying to
Let's
see
go
if
here.
we can
Yeah.
reinforce or
You got it.
pull anything in
So-
again with the
Oh no, I already held this.
Moonfall?
No,
Yeah,
yeah,
right,
I
right.
already held this.
Yeah, I just didn't mark them.
It's looking like a
Too
Moonfall's
busy
about to
figuring
hit the
out what
board.
the hell I'm gonna do.
3. So I'll
Yep, and there's
choose
the
this
Moonfall.
battlefield.
Sure.
giving
I'll try to
plus
move
one
this
It's
to
good
the
against
as
you.
well.
Okay,
I
game
can't do
2
anything.
scoop already.
Yeah, I was
it
just
was
like,
a rough
okay,
position
well.
for Crotus, especially being so far behind. Not
tough.
surprised with the scoop and going to the next game.
I
but-
definitely would have gone 0-7 if I was in his
let's go.
position.
I mean, I think I would have played a Rengar in that state, trying to like take back an advantage from the Hui or from a bunch of the units that are developed on the Yushino side. At least trying to like claw something back if you could.
Right, but like if you play Rengar to the battlefield,
Right,
you
there's
don't
all my
have a
buff
way of
generators
pulling him
right at
back
the bottom.
really. So your Rengar's just left out there to die basically.
Yeah,
You're
yes,
going
yeah,
down
yeah,
even
yeah,
more
yeah.
units. So
Being the
Wait,
set
I'm
player,
looking.
what kind of cards are you looking for in the sideboard against this Diana matchup?
probably Repulse. Repulse is a pretty good one.
Yeah, especially for countering the Moonfall that we saw.
Repulse, Challenge. I mean, Challenge is in main. I can't imagine anything outside of Repulse being played here for set to counter Diana.
Yeah, it looks like he's considering at least one repulse in his sideboard. Didn't get a good look at what else he had.
He had 2 Lucians.
Two Lucians.
Really interesting, yeah.
It'd be interesting to see that if he ever pulls that in from the sideboard.
Like
Oh,
when
and you see on the Diana side, there's a Baron Nasher on the sideboard.
Funny.
this card looks funny.
It's a very
I just keep
interesting.
wondering if I should
I
have
think
just,
it's a
like,
very
dumped
funny
set
card.
there and then just gone like just started eating your units.
I don't know. I
could've
wonder
just
what
gone for play,
matchup
but
Set wants to
there's
play double
The
Lucian
fact that you can
into.
draw and discard. I could have
because
killed your
that's-
2 little guys, I guess.
What does that Lucian do again? Remind me.
On Conquer, you ready him, so you can pull him back. He's like a very like get in, get out kind of card. He gives more movement to the set deck.
I've heard a lot of players, especially at regionals, really like that Lucian if you're going second, to get free conquers and have a card that safely develops your board at the same time. So it might be a going second like card to keep up point tempo and keep up board development for the set.
It's a very tempo heavy fun deck, if you know, if I might say. You develop your Lucian. If you're playing Lucian, not so much Set. You just stack equipment on him.
middle
You
card's
just
pretty
run
cool,
in,
though,
run out,
I
run in,
say.
run out, and hope that they can't charm and kill your Lucian. And if they do, they can't overcome your assaults.
I probably enjoy it. Probably shouldn't take
I'm
it out.
really
but-
excited to see if we
Got
get
you for the stream.
that Baron
That's
Nashor
right, for the
there
stream.
on the
That's right,
diamond
man.
side.
That's right.
It's usually a card you only see.
Gotta flex somewhere. Where you
Aurora,
gotta flex somewhere. I can't think of a
as
better.
sideboard
that's
card.
right.
I
That's
guess
right. A better
there's some
opportunity.
Aurora decks that are playing
Stream is a
Baron
good
Nashor,
opportunity.
like 2 or 3 of in the main.
It just
But
reminds me
it's
that
something that's
like,
probably really
it
unexpected.
helps relieve
that
the
you might
imposter
not,
syndrome, I feel.
account for going against a different purple deck.
Grove.
So,
All right, so the battlefields
Sounds
have been
good.
revealed. It's Grove and Abandoned Hall, it looks like.
Yeah, Grove going first on the set player is very helpful with that card draw. In those limited states that we only had 1 or 2 cards to determine.
It looks like a much
away,
better
my bad.
hand for
you got it,
Protus
you
this
got
time around. 2/2 drops, a way to buff, one of his units.
The
Big
Rengar.
Rengar, you have info through Sabotage. Very good hand in my opinion, but I don't play Set, so don't take my word for it.
I mean, I think it would be a
Is it
great
technically I
hand
go
to
first?
hold.
Technically, yeah.
Especially because he has a way to.
I can get some. You can get some information.
Sure,
Yes, I will look
I've,
into it.
I've never cared enough to do
I know we
it,
saw the
so,
Diana
yeah.
player mulligan 2 cards. I saw
Do
one
2.
of them, I believe, was a stupefy.
Mulligan
but
2.
I'm not
Okay,
sure.
maybe
But,
he sees something
So
I
Good luck.
don't.
Good luck to you.
Interesting.
Draw.
The thing with the Diana
fun. Do it all
deck
day.
is
Go
she's
ahead.
just so powerful with the extra free energy. Being able to cheat out that free energy is just so big. And having that 3-drop where you can just play it on
Card.
curve. And having a
You're
way
not
to
gonna
protect
believe
it
what I'm
with
gonna
the
do.
1 free
No
energy,
I will pass.
it's just so huge, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty nice to have. It's similar to the Lilia deck where you have a pretty nice turn 1 with just a 3-drop.
If you're looking to play Vendetta, something to keep an eye on is I really like the way Akali is looking right now because she also has a 3-drop. Granted, that 3-drop
again.
also requires 1 recycle, but
here.
it's very similar in the way
4 to
that
3.
I lied. I lied, but it's really similar in the way that it's a 3-drop like Diana that you can play in your champion zone.
The set player trying to, get around the gust there by hard casting the Call to Glory on the Fae Folk. But again, the
Yeah, I
super
find that I
comes
only
out
beat
and
Diana if I play aggressively and hope you don't have it.
Honestly,
think
a
that's not a
worthwhile
bad-
trade in my
That's
opinion.
Not a bad
Yeah,
strategy.
Because
and
when
one drop
you
there
out of
for the
units
Diana
and
card
just like
that's
affect the
key to
tempo. Because I
helping
feel
you,
like the
filter
Moonfall
out your
just shreds me if I
hands.
let you
It's
get
a pretty
anywhere
solid
near
trade as well.
any kind of board presence.
Right. If you let it go late, they just have too many. They have too many
But
options.
Way too many.
now
Yeah, yeah,
you're in a
for sure.
position where you have no
For
units
sure.
on the board. You're down like runes.
Yes.
You only have 1 up, and Diana has 5 runes to play with here. She can do
Oh.
2 drops here.
And
No
you saw
way, but
if you look at the sack deck there was a Hui in there, I believe. I don't know if he ended up taking it, but
well, he wouldn't have had the energy to play it. Though,
yeah.
So
I'll pass you. Sure.
Traveling Merchant and pass, pretty solid. Again, the Diana player holding up runes for potential reactions to a lot of these plays that Set's doing.
is that a ride the win or is that a rebuke in hand? I don't think Diana runs rebuke, so that might be a ride the
Might
win
be a
he has
ride
in
the win.
hand.
Probably terribly.
Playing out the set.
Oh, a very early set. Okay.
Turkey buff. Good.
Oh, okay, and then we get a buff to protect
Strong
it.
now. 7.
He's strong now, but
It's a solid position.
Very weak to all
This
your
set
tricks.
again will defend for 7 at any point, and he also has tank. But the buff being a great way to protect it, making sure that you're able to play it, unlike last time, without any protection. So we can use that set legend.
I would love a lot more buff support, XP support in these next upcoming sets. I don't think that's going to happen, but it would make a lot of these more underrated, more underplayed legends a lot stronger.
Yeah, I noticed that at least the revealed cards so far haven't been nearly as XP focused as this last set was, but
Each other
potentially
buff
buff the board.
friendly
I know
at any
as a
battlefield.
Leona player, I'm excited seeing that yellow cannon come out, similar to the Pike,
my-
being able to hide
Oh,
it.
my
and then
battlefield.
Yeah, it has
react
to be at his
and
battlefield.
stun
That'd be
if you
sick
take
of it.
extra.
Anyway.
So
That would be pretty good.
even though she's out of the
pretty
best of
solid.
rotation, excited to see more stun
way.
support or other play styles getting some love.
Here,
Okay, looking to maybe
Trigger.
conquer, maybe filter a card while he does so.
it's just Gust, I think.
Okay, discarding Gust. Very smart idea. You don't want to be gusting that pit
I'll
rookie,
do
giving him
a
free
Flight
buffs.
of Base.
Right of base.
Waves coming out, hitting the board.
And pass 2.
And then holding up 2 again to pass. It might be, holding up for Ride the Wind or some other card to protect way, or
Could be.
get another point to try and get ahead in point tempo.
Could also be holding up a hard bargain, making sure that his Hui is safe from challenge. Crotus is eyeing that challenge. He wants it.
Yeah. He also has a Fiora in hand, which is again another solid unit in this deck if you have a way to buff her. Let's see. It looks like a Rengar as well and a challenge. You said. In this spot, it seems like such a good spot to be able to try and challenge and immediately kill that Hui, and keep up that tempo that you gained in the beginning of the game.
All right, let's see what he plans to do. Lots of options here. A lot more cards in hand than in the last match. Abandon Hall is a little hard to play into, though.
So moving the set to the Grove. Passing focus to the Diana player to see, as the Diana player, seeing if you want to ride the wind to someplace and possibly buff your way.
To some
Passing focus.
place.
Yeah.
He has 3 energy to play with here because remember, Diana Legend gives you 1 free energy on reaction in a showdown. So open showdowns happening right now. He does not need to have any units on his
I
side
guess I should do like this.
to be able to use
I'll do
that Diana Legend.
2 recycle 2.
Or be targeting.
Oh,
Just
that
gonna
was a
rebuke the set.
rebuke. Oh.
That was a rough one there. And then do we have any reaction that we can play on Crotus' side to save it?
Oh, I guess I
No,
trigger
it's-
this if it doesn't.
It kind of gets around
Sure,
that set
if it
legend
doesn't get
issue
countered.
of
Right.
being able to save your set if you have a buff. Pretty good play from the Diana player, making sure you have,
Oh, I wish I had
outs that aren't
reaction speed
necessarily playing
spells.
straight into
speed
what
spells
set
are
wants
good.
to do.
Rebuke has definitely fallen a lot out of favor compared to its counterpart Starcross. Just because Starcross is so much less expensive in the power department, being able to synergize with Fizz, playing it for only 1 power out of the trash, very strong compared to the 2 power that it costs to play Rebuke. That being said, Rebuke is still a really strong card because you don't have to bounce one of your units to play it.
Yeah, I've noticed a lot of the purple players here, a lot of the chaos players are sideboarding that rebuke or having a sneaky rebuke there. Oh, and we get the Rengar as a reaction.
That is good.
It would have been funny if he hit another Rebuke.
Yeah.
So,
Get the Rengar to secure the
Conquer is
battlefield
good.
there.
it's good. Go to
The
one.
buff also goes away, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, so we can't,
well,
we
let's
can't
see
save
if
the Rengar or
Rengar
the
tries
sets.
just
I
backfire
don't know if you have
challenge.
another way. Trying to challenge
Oh
the
my
play.
goodness. Challenge.
And then
that
do we
that won't
have
be the
another
case, but that is
Stupefy
good.
or something to help the play? Oh,
No,
immediately just
we see in his
good
hand,
skill.
looks like a
Hate playing
maybe
that
a
way, that's
Raven
just
Bloom, maybe a
bad.
Fizz, Baron, and a Ride the Wind. So no spells.
It's a rough position for the Diana player, getting the Diana killed immediately, and then
two.
as you put your way down, just going straight to trash.
Very unit heavy hand in a deck that realistically wants a lot of spells to play around. A lot of
Yeah.
combat tricks.
In this position for the Diana player, like what are we looking at to try and get back into the game and redevelop your board?
I would say maybe filtering for another card. You can always play the Fizz to play a Rebuke from the trash, but I don't think
Yeah.
going down 3 runes is a very good idea.
I think the chaotic play. I think I see the Baron in hand as well. Maybe just trying to develop and then play the Baron out
Baron
unexpectedly.
is so expensive right now. But yes, Baron could. The pace of the game is very slow. Baron could be the answer. Could be the way out for Diana here.
Yeah, we're only 2 points in 1 point, so fairly slow in this game.
Could always pull Merchant back, maybe discard a Ride the Wind. I can't see Ride the Wind being very helpful here. Maybe for Baron. Could discard a Fizz. I feel like Fizz is not really helpful here. Could discard a Fizz unless he wants to play a Stupefy for a free draw.
Yeah, the only way that I'd be looking is if we're on the line to play the Baron, trying to develop more units just so you get that benefit of the +2
Right.
that the Baron gives to every other unit.
My mistake.
I think Baron is very strong here. It can't be challenged, can't be hidden bladed. I don't think Set runs Cold a week, so not really a Cold a week you have to worry about. It's just, can Set develop enough power to kill that Baron, just straight up.
Yeah, it puts that advantage back on the Diana player if he's able to get it out, and you know, makes Set have to try and answer that.
He would have to develop for another turn at least, another 2 turns. He only realistically has another 2-drop to play in order to develop, which isn't great. But he could wait another 2 turns and then try and drop that Baron down.
It looks like he might be, the Diana player might be trying to play the Fizz out.
-3 this.
Oh,
Sure, yeah.
-3 on the radar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or -4, I guess.
-4, yeah. You got it.
Predict.
And then trying to beat over the Rengar.
Predict, see, trying to filter some more, seeing if that's a card he wants to draw from Traveling Merchant.
Just realizing I could have just Rengar'd there, killed that, and then done it.
Traveling Merchant would be at 3, and then Rengar would be at 2. So you could.
This is very.
ride
I
the
have
wind
to go
over,
here. I feel like I can't. I don't want to
since
give up.
Curtis is
Yeah.
tapped
I
out.
guess.
You
I guess that's
could.
kind of the other part of it.
I think what I would have done here is I would have pulled the Traveling Merchant back maybe, unless you want to keep all your cards in your hand. Pull back, draw, right? And then
you're right.
discard
Shoot,
draw,
right. I'll
and
move
then
back
play
first,
Ride
I
the Wind,
guess.
discard draw, and then discard draw one more time after the
Yeah. Use the
Conquer to keep
mana.
my Traveling Merchant safe.
Oh, good.
Helping a lot
Ride the
with the
wind.
hand filtering, but it does look like he ends up, you know, moving the Merchant first and then ride the wind back in.
Another move trigger
Discarding that
here.
Baron as well.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely what I would have done as well. Very smart play.
Discarding a hard bargain, getting another super
And then, yeah,
hand,
that
help with
that's good to
hand,
resolve.
help
Sure.
with the hand draw.
3.
No, that was. Yeah, the Rengar should have gone there because you only had one, so it's like you couldn't have. Yeah. Oh well.
Now, do I try to hold this?
It's okay
Like,
though. I think
very
Crotus
greedy.
does have a way back in here. He does
Do
have the set
I-
in hand. He has a Fiora. He has a lot
be
of might
sane.
to play with.
Yeah, and
It
it
is
looks
for
like
chumps.
Yishmo is able to filter out almost the entire hand, debating if he wants to hold the battlefield or, you know, get another card to filter out.
If Set top decks another Rengar here, it
gonna
could
come
be
back.
absolutely devastating for Diana.
Yeah.
Just getting another unit onto that
discard
battlefield,
draw.
having a way
I'll
to
pass you.
accelerate that
good.
unit onto a battlefield, very big. Or he could, if the battlefields are open, he could always conquer and then play a unit there, like Set.
Yeah. No, that would have been so much better because then you don't have units to star-crossed. And yeah. No, that was.
Another
It was.
sabotage there.
Let's play central. That's the problem. Playing after work on a Friday.
Yeah.
So it was a.
I don't know. Maybe I should have waited to turn on the play.
Riftbound after
Trying to
work
play
is
around challenge,
always the
but
best.
it Didn't work
I mean,
out.
at
Really.
the end of the day, your brain's already, you know, mush
Yeah,
from-
but
from
everyone's
work,
brain is
but-
fried.
I
You know,
mean,
you get to play
forced me
against
to have
other
it,
people
right?
with fried brains, and it's like
Yeah.
always the best because then you always make the
fine.
dumbest mistakes, and so do they. Peak Riftbound, if I do say so myself.
He Riftbound. It looks like luckily Crotus has
How many cards?
another pit
Three.
rookie in hand, so if he's able to develop with another like unit, replay the set or play the Fiora, he's able to play it very safely with the set legend, hoping that, you know, Yishima doesn't have another rebuke in hand.
He might not have a rebuke, but I know what he has in hand that's like a rebuke.
Yep.
There you go, moving to secure another point, deciding where we want to, you know, play out our pit rookie. Holding, I'd always go to the hold battlefield just to make sure you have more options in hand.
Fiora?
Reinforcing
Okay.
that with the Fiora.
Almighty.
I wonder if he has a way to buff that Fiora.
Yeah, and then there's the pit
Ooh,
rookie.
that is so huge. Ganking on Fiora,
Was he 6
deflect on
now?
Fiora, and
Shield
plus
6 on
2
defense.
shields.
Yeah.
Yeah, such a strong unit in this deck.
Plus 1 shield.
Exactly. Such a strong unit in this deck, especially because you're just throwing out buffs, so she's always able to get, you know, become mighty and get those key keywords for her.
And even if she loses the combat, Crotus always has a way of keeping her alive. He can use that buff, he can recycle a rune. and boom, she's alive just in base this time.
Exactly. That's a a big benefit of the set deck, just being able to save a lot of the units for again only recycling one rune.
Yeah, no. Also, Rengar here would have killed that, then combat resolves, then I play challenge, he gets a +1, so Superfly wouldn't even have killed him. Yeah, that was so dumb. That would have been like the play.
Yeah, that's a good
Looks
play.
like they're going over a misplay.
At least I realized eventually that was the play. I guess.
Yeah, it sounds like if you would have played Rengar to the other battlefield, it would have been a lot safer to, hold Rengar there since a Stupefire, anything of that sort wouldn't, knock Rengar down enough.
Yep, and you also have Abandoned Hall trigger, so you get more might every time you play a spell.
Yeah, being in the Diana player's position, trying to figure out how we can, slowly keep our point tempo here.
Honestly, I'm surprised he pitched the
Fleck
Baron
is-
and he didn't pitch
Wow.
the Fizz.
Oh, God. So
Yeah, I'm curious what he's looking through his trash, trying
So much
to
stuff.
determine what he's digging for here. I'm trying to see whatever way out he has in this matchup.
I feel like out of everything he has in his trash, maybe he could rebuke. Very expensive though. I personally wouldn't get a rebuke. Gust isn't ideal, especially if you're gusting a pit rookie. You're just giving him more ways to buff his units.
Yeah.
Maybe a Stupefy,
trigger.
maybe a stack deck if you need more ways of filtering through your cards.
Yushmo moving to Abandoned Hall, filtering out. Can't see the edge of that, but filtering out another card.
4.
Conquering to 4, keeping up that point tempo ahead. He's again 2 points ahead
Oh,
of the set.
did you see that?
I didn't get a chance to look at it.
That was another Starcross.
Another Starcross.
He might have found his way out. We'll see.
This again, I think.
Okay, Hui hits the board.
I'll pass.
Okay.
Looks like just
Alright.
another unit development and then passing
3,
with the
I
runes
draw
up
for
again.
the hold.
Very scary place again, seeing the Diana player with
Finish
two
ready.
runes and then
Kill
the
2.
Diana legend already.
Diana definitely has the point tempo right now, but Fiora has the option of ganking over. But if she does gank over, Starcross can't be played.
Yeah, not much protection from these spells in Sat's colors. I know there was a sideboard in for a repulse, but I can't think of any other cards that would really help in this spot. Maybe sabotaging and ripping out the Starcross, but like proactively. But I don't know if there's anything we can do reactionary to it.
So I was playing a Fiora deck a while back here at Card Art, and I went 0-3 3 weeks in a row. But so a very big gripe I have with is playing into Diana and only sideboarding one repulse, and one unyielding spirit. So I feel like that's not enough protection,
cards?
especially
3,
if
yeah.
the chances of you drawing into that card is very low in a deck that already has low draw rate. So something to consider here.
It's also very interesting seeing someone play a very proactive deck in a meta where there's a lot of purple and a lot of green like spells being played all the time.
Crotus just reading his mind here. Hits him with another sabotage. Goodbye, Starcross.
Goodbye, Starcross. And then he also gets the info of only, having to play around that super line as well.
Yeah, so definitely Starcross.
And getting rid of the Starcross there.
Okay. Oh, that's. I just picked up. That's
good,
not my
you're
hand.
good,
Those
you're
are my
good.
runes. I don't want those at all.
And now Curtis kind of has free reign over here, just playing around potentially
gank over
two
here.
might difference from Diana.
And he has no way of defending his units, so
Getting a +1, moving Fiora over.
4 to 4.
Yeah.
a really crazy play here is Fey Folk, Showstopper the Fey Folk to pull in the Hui.
It worked last time, the Fey Folk being showstoppered, so what's stopping it from happening again?
Not having a Fey Folk in hand.
First mate.
That's true. It's like we're rewriting the Fiora
Turn to base.
and then bringing it back to safety. And
Okay.
the rest of the units in this hand look like, again, the set legend, or the set from the zone, and then another Fiora.
I would honestly pull back the Pit Rookie here. Yes, you could hold Very risky though. I think you want to prioritize that might and that development. Oh my god.
Same one.
Another
Yeah, just another
Fiora.
one.
I think
Not,
these are
not
these
buff.
spots where a lot of the meta
So,
decks or a lot of like things
past
like
you.
Diana or other blue girl decks start to struggle is when there's a lot of unit development from your opponent. Because usually you're only dealing with like 1 or 2
Yeah.
units being able to start.
Yeah, that Rengar move would have put me so far ahead.
Yeah, I think that would have. It would.
That
That would have
was-
been over.
Yeah, I probably would have been
might
over.
turn in the
Oh, well.
favor of set.
I wanted to prolong this. This
That's the
fun
thing I
match.
love about mid-range decks like Set. Being able to have a lot of might on the board, being able to slowly
Trigger.
trade, whittle down your opponent instead of having to send in one unit like Irelia and then getting bounced or
Oh, draw off is super. Wait.
potentially having that unit be killed. Lots of ways
What's my
for
hand? My hand was this at the
Set
start
to
of the
play
turn?
now that he has favor in terms of tempo and units on the board.
Okay, I drew for turn. I should draw. I didn't draw off this stupefy yet.
I think, yeah, because you had 2 in your hand.
Yeah. So I 2 my hand. Drew
yeah.
for turn. So I draw one
Sure.
more.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So we got rid of that
Go to
stupefy
5.
to kind
Yeah.
of help filter your hand again with the way. And then seeing what other options we have. I know we picked up a Tide Turner to bring him back very safely. We had the Fizz from before.
We do have a Moonfall. It looks like it's about to hit the board again. Who's he gonna draw in? I feel like it's gonna be
Let's
that
go
Fiora without the buff.
Fizz.
Oh, okay. the
Oh, or a
Fizz.
Fizz. Or a Fizz.
Ride the wind on the way over here.
Sure.
Okay,
Sure.
ride the
Recycle
wind
another one.
for
Yep.
Trying to
more
keep that
movement.
point tempo ahead as
fair.
well. Going to 6 points at this point, trying to
Trigger.
Yeah.
get in a position where you threaten to close out the game.
Ooh, that's.
Hidden Blade would be really useful here. I know he has a few in his deck. We have not seen one
Yeah,
yet.
I know I saw one sided out
That's
for that
tricky.
repulse, but I'm not sure how many he's running in the total deck there.
Right.
So now in the Diana's position, seeing if we want to hold and try and get extra card draw with the Hui, or bring him back to safety with that Tide Turner.
That's tricky.
Very difficult position to be in for both players here. Very close game.
We're on the Hui trigger, seeing what we want to pitch
6.
to the side. Pitching a unit over, and then bringing him back.
Looks like his hand has recovered in terms of card numbers. He was down to 2 cards, and now I think he has at least 5 in hand.
Yeah, it's a solid thing that the Diana deck's able to do.
I
is
feel like I have to make
just,
those aggressive plays
either
and like
draw up a
try and
lot
kill
of
someone
cards when you're
tapped
down,
out.
or be able to filter your almost your entire hand every turn, giving you the answers that you need.
Right.
Interesting.
Yep.
I'll pass.
Right, and then just bring Hui back to
Alright.
base, holding up a lot of runes here, and passing over to Crotus.
Wow.
Easy double conquer.
Yeah.
But
Took
the real
you
question
frickin'
is,
ever.
how does he want to defend his units? Where does he want to stack? If stacking at all, does he want to do an even stack? Does he
So
want to
Moonfall
do
just
one
picks me
over the
apart, that's the
other?
problem, but
I
mean,
feel like stacking one
have to-
battlefield is probably the smarter play,
May-
but it's very risky to stack on Abandoned Hall, and it's also really risky to stack on Grove as well,
Yeah.
because he can just ride the wind over, if he's able to.
I mean, Yishmo knowing that he does have at least one more turn, since Crotus can only go to 6 points, but
Is that a Harness Dragon in hand? A Harness Dragon would solve all his
I
problems.
don't really have too many other guys, so
yeah, in Crotus' spot here, you're trying to see if you want to, again, reinforce one battlefield, like you said, and stack all your units, or, threaten to win with the double pull by trying to split your units between 2 battlefields here.
All right.
Okay,
Set coming
there,
out.
Getting the
Finally.
benefit from
The buffer.
Fiora,
yeah, the buffer.
and then
the
finding a
buff
way to
set.
buff up that set as well.
This is very scary because
Let's see.
you're stacking the battlefield.
So-
he has a Moonfall in hand.
I mean, I think she
Yeah,
could
I
Moonfall.
mean,
It
that-
just doesn't really
Set's
matter. 'Cause if
defending
I
here
stack up the
for-
battlefield, like Moonfall
Or
just
he has
destroy
about
all
8
those
might
units
here,
anyway.
plus the Fiora's 4, and the
So I
shield
have
as
to
well. from
play
Fiora,
basically
so
assuming you don't
again,
have
stacking a
Moonfall.
lot of might
I don't think I
there,
saw Moonfall there.
making it
so
really
you
hard
gotta
to
have
get
one
through
here.
for the
Doesn't really
Diana
matter.
board.
Sounds like Crotus
Let's
is
see.
playing around the
So
Moonfall. He did note that he did not see any Moonfalls in the discard pile. So he's playing with the knowledge that Diana likely has at least
So he's
one
still at
Moonfall in her
8,
hand.
even if you Moonfall.
I'd be worried about putting a lot of these like 2 and 3 white
Problem is you
units on
bring
a
your
battlefield,
Fizz, that will
especially with that
still
knowledge.
kill.
And then we
Right.
have an unbuffed Fiora as well, which would effectively be one might. So trying to decide if we want to reinforce or try and capture a second battlefield. I might just, end up sending one of the pit rookies over to capture it for the points, and then to keep on that like 2-4-6, point curve.
Even keeping at least 4 Mai on the other battlefield could tax the Stupefy, could tax the Fizz from Diana here.
You can
Although
move
it looks
and
like
if you
Diana
Ride the
does
Wind
have a
too,
Ride the
Or
Wind,
Fizz, all those things.
has
Basically
both
your
a
whole
Ride
deck.
the Wind and a Moonfall in his hand.
Like the first time
Could
the
just
Diana
play
experience.
to swing into
Yeah.
Abandoned Hall and then
Man, one little
Ride the
mistake.
Wind out.
Well, it wasn't
Yeah, I'm
little.
not much of a Diana player, but I wonder if there is a line where like Yishimo could be able to accelerate it to win on his next turn almost.
Yishimo's smiling. He knows. He knows.
Trying to see if there's any window for him to be able to play those actions.
Look at your.
Yeah, of course.
Thanks.
I wonder if there's anything that Crotus can do here. I don't know if I saw a Call to Glory in his hand where he can cheat out some extra might here.
It's a really tough position though to Call to Glory on a set board, because effectively with that set, when you play Call to Glory, you're used to playing it for free and then getting +2 might. But what happens is you effectively only get +1 might on the set because you're getting rid of a buff and you're getting rid of the +1 that he gets from a friendly buff as well.
Right. Now seeing the arena bar, I'm kind of tempted to add it into my Fiora deck.
I mean, it is a solid deck.
one card.
Or a solid card, especially if you're trying to buff a lot of your units.
Oh,
like
wait,
the set
you're good.
does.
No.
I've noticed there's a lot of orange decks that we see, like Master Yi, that really care about
Let me just do
the
that.
extra might.
I'll just go there too.
Just
Just
playing
go.
a lot of those pit rookies as
Or
well.
whatever the
just
hell.
Right.
Go ahead.
Make it that little bit more annoying to get over.
I'm surprised he didn't want to buff the other Fiora and chose to buff Set instead. And he could sit on that battlefield with extra might, extra shield from Fiora, extra deflect, potential for ganking.
Yeah, he might just be trying to, hold the 7 there and gank over with the Fiora at the end.
If he's at least able to go even here, he would have the advantage as Fiora would be able to gank over.
Moving the play to trigger the play and get
I
it.
have to let you resolve mood trigger.
Pitching the
So this is
purple
+3
Vex,
this
the 5 cost purple Vex.
That's good.
Go to 7.
Yep.
And then is there a line where he can get the final point this turn? With the other battlefield being, again, stacked with so much life.
I will stupefy the set.
Okay,
Goes
playing
to
very
7.
Draw a
slowly
card and then trigger over here.
so that Abandoned Hall is able to trigger from Hui, on Hui.
Whichever.
And then
Playing
let's
very carefully here.
Yeah. Good. Sure.
move trigger.
So it looks like he has to get over around 18 might now with the Super 5.
Sure.
Trying to see if he can, whittle away a lot of
12?
units on
Yeah,
Set's
and then
battlefield.
And he
to
has
Moonfall, I think.
Star Cross in hand. He could bounce a unit, bounce his Fizz. Replay Fizz. Not during the combat
so
though. Moonfall the
choose
other
this battlefield, drag
Fiora
this
in.
in,
Sure.
and then we'll do the math later. I'll do another one.
That's fine.
Damn, he just filtered
Yeah, I missed it.
so
You got it.
hard.
All the answers in
If
his
I call
hand
it
as
that,
well.
but-
The double Moonfall,
Well
not
played.
much
Thank you,
you can do
thank you,
against
Well
that.
played.
Double Moonfall, Ride the Wind.
Not on my part, anyway.
It looks like
Yeah, I think you're right. 'Cause
pretty-
if you play the
pretty
Rengar, you
shaky
definitely have me.
2-0
I needed the
from
points
Yishu.
too. I got an extra
A
point.
lot of really
I
hard
just-
lines that you have to go through with the Diana
Yeah,
deck.
no, it
Very
was,
long sequencing there, which makes it a bit of a headache.
Yep, I should play on the weekends.
for some players, and
He
especially with
did
a clock.
really well though.
Yeah, he
Like-
did really well.
Like a lot of very tough positions for him to be in, and he managed to get out of them very
Yeah.
cleanly.
It seems like a lot of these Diana players have so many reps, or probably goldfish a lot with their decks, because there's so many lines that you can take. It's a lot of hard work for the players. So So it looks like there's still some time left in the round, but we'll probably head to a break soon as the other players wrap up, and then we'll come back and have another set of games for you.
And hopefully the next matches will also be as interesting as this one.
Yeah, hoping not to see Aurora, but we'll see you soon.
Welcome back to Friday night Card Art Nexus night. Today, you know, if damn,
We're in
but
round 2 here.
yeah, we're in round 2 here. We will be having
Pretty
a
exciting
Draven
matchup.
Draven versus Draven mirror matchup. We might have jinxed it. I don't think that's a very interesting matchup, but
I don't know.
Yeah,
it's,
coming
it's
from
something you
Fiora,
don't
like,
see
there's a
lot,
lot of
especially in
different
this
lines you
meta.
can do with
Once
Fiora,
the first
and, like,
wave of like bans came in, that kind of wiped out a lot of the Draven
So
cards.
yeah, this one it's a lot more straightforward. It's like, cleave it or
it's pretty interesting seeing
rebuke it,
two Draven
that
players
sort of
head
thing.
to head
Yeah.
in this kind of meta. Even these are two
how do you
very
want to
local
decide?
players that come through a lot, and Daly especially has been
you,
on Fiora the
even?
entire
Sure.
time. So
What would you like?
it's really interesting
Let's
to
do
see
on.
him switch to a deck like this.
something notable though, if you have been keeping up with the Riftbound percentage win rate grids, where you see like the matchup percentages for each legend, Draven actually has a really favorable matchup into Yi, and he is one of the only legends, if not the only legend, to have a positive win rate into Master Yi.
Yeah, it's very interesting because I personally haven't seen a lot either in like any of the Nexus nights. I know there was like one skirmish I went to where I saw one Draven player, but it seems like he hasn't been around that much since.
I think this could be a natural evolution of the locals meta here, where we previously saw a lot of Master Yi players, whereas now we're seeing the local players try and counter that meta by running these legends such as Draven.
It's like pretty standard development. We're playing Evelyn as one of our 2 drops in this deck, and then playing Rek'Sai on the other side for Teddy.
Very interesting. Rek'Sai in Draven. I haven't seen that yet. Evelyn, of course, is a very flexible card. 2-drop. That can also be played as a hidden card, as a free charm, to try and deal with those pesky backline units.
Yeah, I'm interesting to see what we have on Teddy's side if the Rek'Sai's here just for the Draven Showboat coming from the champion zone, or if we have another line we can play and kind of use that the free accelerate.
Interesting development on both sides for these first few turns here. Pretty sure we will see a Conquer coming out pretty soon to try and get that seat of power draw on Dale's side.
Are you pressing action? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really curious why he didn't end up conquering the first turn, or I guess second turn with the Evelyn.
Likely to develop, I'm thinking, because if he conquers, maybe Rek'Sai could do something about it.
Conquer? Yep.
Potentially.
So
That accelerate being something
draw for Conquer.
you gotta keep in mind again every time
Ben's on
you
trigger.
pass back the turn to Teddy.
Accelerate and Assault on Rek'Sai, so not just 3
Yeah.
might on Rek'Sai, a lot more.
See, it looks like on Daly's side, he has a flash in hand, a Tide Turner to probably save that Kaisa.
Discarding Tide Turner here. Likely is still looking for a double conquer and then maybe a flashback.
That is a really good option as well. Getting, a lot of cards in your hand to give yourself all these options. Maybe developing a small unit and then holding up a lot of might for, that flash or other combat tricks here.
As with, going turn first in any match, big tempo advantage, being able to develop your unit first, being able to potentially conquer first and, get those draws. That being said, very, very good hand here for Dale, being able to keep his units safe by flashing them back and then developing some more later on.
Yeah, we're seeing again, just unit development on the board. It's interesting seeing a deck that isn't, Diana or another Blurple being able to draw so many cards and filter your hand so much. Very advantageous going first into both these battlefields since you get a lot of draw and, a lot of that hand filtering. Looks like we also hit a card on the Evelyn side and then just developed our board state.
Still holding up 2 for that flash though, in case things go badly on the Evelyn side of the battlefield.
Yeah, I definitely try and keep that Kaisa up as much as I could to try and draw as many cards and kind of abuse that character.
Sure.
Now, I have a question for you. Do you think that hidden card is a switcheroo? Very early switcheroo, but could be a switcheroo.
Might be. Okay, it is
Oh,
a Tide Turner
Turner,
there to try and save. I'm like, usually if I'm seeing purple hidden cards like that, I'd try and guess it'd be a Tide Turner.
Oh, actually,
you know, Daly may be
Because
trying to
of that
discard that
battlefield,
Tide Turner to
can't move.
psych out Teddy that he doesn't have
Oh,
any
he
Tide
can't
Turners.
move, right?
Is
That
it-
interaction.
Yeah.
But Kaisa will still go here.
So the Tide Turner
Oh,
came and
can I read it?
stunned.
Yeah.
And
That
can't
actually
move.
might be more
Yeah.
favorable for him because
They
Tide
can't
Turner
move this
doesn't
turn.
die.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Okay, so.
It could be. The
But
Kaisa, well, can
you
they
still
switch
do it as
positions
the Kaisa
then?
move trigger? Okay.
Yeah, Kaisa still goes over, but Tide Turner doesn't move, so that
so
could be
that's
more
fine.
favorable
Almost go to
on
one.
Dale's
Yep.
side of things
Or
because
Yeah, he doesn't have to lose that Tide Turner
Yeah.
anymore.
Does on trigger.
that being said, now the other battlefield is harder for Teddy to break.
Yeah. So I'm trying to see. I'm trying to figure out what cards that we might expect in the hands of these players. I'm really not that familiar with the Draven list. Haven't seen it too often, but trying to see what else we might develop. The Showboat potentially, but we only have 1 point. I know there's always like the Kaisa and Darius that you know is key in these red decks, as well as the Ferris Forerunner that we used to see a lot in the Draven deck.
Now, with these Draven matchups, you have to be very, very careful in the way you want to play these combats because losing a combat isn't just losing your unit. It's also giving the enemy Draven a draw.
That's true in this mirror matchup. We see the cleave played by Teddy and trying to potentially punch up and punch through this other battlefield to, you know, win a combat, get a draw off that, and then get another draw off the Seat of Power.
If he does swing here on the other battlefield, 1 unit will die. Likely Tide Turner, but not sure until that flash comes down.
2.
See, recycling
2,
there.
committing a lot here.
Falling star.
Then we get that
Falling star.
Targets are gonna be.
Yeah, Flash might not be able to save here, although I think he will be going for two costs instead of Kaisa. So Kaisa Evelyn will still live, unfortunately.
We did get a peek at Teddy's hand here. It does look like he has a couple spinning axes and a Kaisa to play with. Potentially leaving up those runes, but he doesn't have.
Oh, there's
No
also
reds.
4
Yeah, no reds there, but
from the. So 7. 7 to
okay,
6.
punching up 7 into that battlefield. Daly probably playing the flash here to save both the units.
I love Cleave. I miss using Cleave when Annie was still meta. Now we barely see Cleave.
Yeah, I know it's like if you ever see the occasional Rek'Sai come up, that's, you know, a very key card in that
That's
deck.
good.
But you know, we don't see a lot of the Rek'Sai decks, but they do end up performing fairly well.
We can. This move, this from this. These were both already played, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so flash saving both
okay.
the units
I
back to
will
base. Getting the second
draw,
conquer
2,
from the
draw,
Rek'Sai by
and draw.
Teddy.
Yep.
It's a really interesting position though, because now the Rek'Sai is out here all alone, and you know, potentially putting Teddy in a spot where he can't use the accelerate to his advantage from the Draven Showboat.
There is one way Teddy can save his board here, and it's by flashing his units back if he got a flash from that draw, but conceding those battlefields, giving Kaisa free draws, is just going to give Dale more opportunities to find an out against his deck. That Kaisa draw, very, very brutal.
Yeah, it's especially a rough spot too, because we don't have any of the units developed on board. So if we end up losing these battlefields and losing our units, then there's a lot of point tempo and a lot of you know, board state we'd have to redevelop.
Sure.
So he does get a card that he's able to hide here, so giving some protection to this Rek'Sai, and then passing the turn over to Dale.
Surprisingly, locally, we don't have that many Aurora players anymore.
Yeah, I know there's one player, Akira, that, you know, if you tuned into the last skirmish last month, was in the top 2 there, but I don't know if I've seen too many other Aurora players here.
Aurora's just way too expensive. I think with the gear hit, it's become a lot less favorable. Oh my goodness,
Okay, the rebuke there
rebuke
for the
on
Rek'Sai.
Rek'Sai.
Trying to get rid of that hidden card and send it straight to the trash.
If that hidden card is a switcheroo, that could be very brutal on the side of Dale. There is an opportunity here for him to react. It could be a Tide Turner.
Trying to think right now if I want to move it.
Okay, so the Tide Turner being played, and then the rebuke resolving, so he does still keep control of this battlefield. And now Dale has to figure out how he wants to conquer these. Hopefully trying to get through the Vex, kind of that huge threat on the board for any purple deck.
Looks like two different playstyles as well. If you notice on the side of Dale, no purple runes, and on the side of Teddy, no red runes.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see the two different, very different decks in this mirror matchup. We see the Draven, the Darius come down here, giving another ready unit and then +2 to the Darius, giving a lot of might to be able to conquer both battlefields, it looks like. Still being aware of, Teddy having those 3 runes up.
Suddenly, Dale's side of the board looks very much like Annie from set 1 here.
Yeah.
With all the Kaisas, dropping the Darius. Nox is hopeful with, I don't know if it's his Zon Warrens. I'm pretty sure it is. His Zon Warrens. Just the only thing out of place in this deck is Evelyn.
Yeah, so we're going, looks like 8 over to that battlefield to make sure we can get a solid conquer there and get the trigger off of Kaisa. It's like draw off Kaisa, draw off Draven, and then we don't get the seat of power here because we're not controlling the other battlefield. But 2 draws in any deck is an amazing use of your turn.
Hold it 3. Yep. Channel 2.
Looks like just developing that Draven or Darius, interestingly enough, and then passing the turn, not moving into that second battlefield with the 3 runes up on Teddy's side. And Teddy is now in a position where, again, only 1 unit on the board there, so probably has to try and develop and, claw his way back into this game.
Very, very fast beginning turn here. I'm surprised he didn't swing in with Darius to try and clear that Vex.
Oh, it might be...
Oh wait, no, it's because
sorry,
he
the Vex
played.
is at the battlefield.
Yeah.
Go. 3.
Still, I think he could have swung the Noxus Hopeful in, no?
Yeah, he probably could have swung the other side in and challenged the Vex and then try and conquer over with that Darius on the other side, or the Evelyn.
That being said, Dale now does have point tempo, going up to 4 to Teddy's 3. Although, on Teddy's side, once it swings back over to him, he will have rune advantage in terms of how much energy and power he has to play with.
Yeah, and he is, he put down the Rek'Sai back, so he might just be able to accelerate in with the Darius, or with the Draven champion in the champion zone, giving another acceleration threat to Dale that Dale has to consider when, leaving his units here for holds if possible.
I think we're gonna see things get real spicy soon. The moment the showboats hit the board on both sides, either sides, when the points get high enough for those Draven Mites to really, really count and matter.
Yeah, Teddy being slightly advantageous here because he is able to have it accelerated in. Looks like Daly being aware of that and retreating most of his units safely, and then developing out with the Ferris Forerunner.
Ferris is a really, really big card here. Not only being a stagnant 6 might that can trade, but also being able to spawn in 2 more little chuds into the back line.
Yeah, very strong overstated unit. Especially it's effectively 12 might that you get for 6 and recycling one power. Interesting that we have that card printed and haven't seen any other cards that quite high. Highly statted.
Alright, let's see what Teddy wants to do here. Looks like he might look for a double conquer before further developing his board.
Yeah, if I was on Teddy's side, I'd still try and keep that Rek'Sai in base just to threaten a really big, mighty Draven coming in, potentially just to take over any battlefield that Daly tries to hold or conquer.
Now, this is a very tough decision point for him. After Zon Warren's resolves, does he want to keep Vex at a battlefield to prevent ambush, or would he want to keep Vex in base, keep her alive for a conquer next turn?
Yeah, hopefully getting a good look at Teddy's hand to see if he has any, quick draw equipment or any combat tricks that he can use if he, chooses to move the Vex there to the battlefield. It's always a good position because you do at least get the draw off Seat of Power.
Looks like he's prioritizing Seat of Power and an extra point, and he also pitched a Kaisa, which is a really interesting choice, though one I am inclined to agree with, to be honest. very late into the game now with Kaisa. Very unlikely you'll ever be able to get her free conquer draw.
Here you go. Sure.
Yeah, giving, you know, keeping up 6 runes there potentially for the two axes, and then reinforcing that Vex, giving it some protection with the overzealous fan.
Stack that? You're good.
See a stack deck from Daily, seeing if you can dig for any answers here.
How many cards in hand? I have 5. 5. Okay.
Looks like Dale is thinking of his outs. Not sure how many cards he has in hand.
Yeah, he does have to consider, even if he has a lot of might, I believe he's around 21 might going into these battlefields, he has to be aware of, again, the Rek'Sai here and then the accelerated Draven coming in next turn. So seeing if he can move in without committing too many resources, and then, you know, if he can get the chance to hold those battlefields or not, which, again, in this mirror matchup, most likely just battling back and forth at these battlefields.
Spinning axe is going to be hitting the board. Could we see another spinning axe coming out from Dale?
Cleave the Darius? Yep.
Cleave, okay.
Darius
And Darius trigger. So now Darius goes up to 10. That's a lot of might to deal with.
Yeah, it's such a strong unit that we see in a lot of these red decks. Just the core of Kaisa getting you a lot of early cards, and then Darius being able to, you know, get over a lot of these smaller might units just through a lot of these triggers.
Another spinning axe. Okay.
Let's see, it looks like, so that'd be 5 against 4, 10.
It looks
So
like
10 to 10?
yes.
Teddy using the second spinning axe to try and just trade into this Darius here. It's a lot of runes that he's spent.
Okay.
Oh, a third
Oh my
spinning
gosh,
axe.
a third spinning axe.
Yeah.
It's a very risky investment from Teddy, especially with the Daily having so many runes still up in this first, first showdown. Choosing to just, you know, forfeit that battlefield there. But again, in Daily's position, you're happy to see this. You know, Teddy tapping all his runes out, having nothing else to play. While you have, you know, 5 runes and 4 other units in your base that you have to play with on these battlefields.
Yeah. Go here.
Evelyn going in, hoping to get rid of the overzealous fan. That, again, that trigger goes on the stack first to see if Teddy wants to kill it before anything else. It looks like he's just going to trade the fan.
Looks like Vex will die. I don't know if committing that many axes to your Noxus Hopeful is worth it. Maybe saving it for Vex might have been better.
Yeah, I guess we'll see in the next turn if Teddy's able to... I mean, he gets a hold off that battlefield, and then potentially we'll see if he'll accelerate in that Draven next turn.
Honestly, very bad position here. If Dale has a way of even one cleave or a switcheroo, one way for him to deal with the Noxus Hopeful, and then all the axes will go away next turn because of temporary.
That's true. It's a rough position with these spinning axes. It's a very thematically Draven card here. And then we see Daily with his own Rek'Sai coming down as well. Considering if he wants to do anything with these last 2 runes, looks like he's just
Passing? Okay, and suddenly point tempo goes back to Teddy. He can swing back and then threaten to double conquer next turn if that's what he wants to do. Only issue is, does he want to try and protect his units here, or does he want to try and develop at the expense of potentially losing his spinning axis? Losing those spinning axis to like even a switcheroo would be devastating.
Yeah, it was a pretty seemingly advantageous position for Teddy until we saw again that Rek'Sai come down now from Daily as well. So now you have the threat from you know, Draven coming in accelerated on both sides, especially at this very high point number of 6 and 5. Again, Draven being someone that, you know, the more points you get, the more powerful he is.
Go to base here.
Bringing all the axes back there to base. And then seeing if we want to develop our board or challenge that Ferris Forerunner on the other battlefield.
So it doesn't matter as much, huh? 4.
Starcross here would be very good. You Starcross your Rek'Sai, just replay Rek'Sai, and then you Starcross the Ferris. And suddenly he has to commit a whole lot more to get that Ferris back on the board.
Does look like we're seeing another Vex out of Teddy, and then another two
Pouty
drop to play.
Pori.
Pouty Poro. It's pretty, I believe it's been a pretty core card to the Draven decks. So it looks like a lot of just bringing units back and developing the board state, hoping to double conquer in the next turn. It's a very threatening position, especially, you know, having that accelerated Draven coming out.
Pouty's a very underrated card, I think, in this current meta, because while it doesn't do a whole lot into Master Yi, into Diana, preventing that free gust, preventing any might reduction with Stupefy, very huge. Being able to tax those Diana decks, those more control-heavy decks like Ezreal.
Yeah, it's a very good position too, that Teddy saw, where Daly could only score one extra point and be on an odd point number, where now Daly is in a position where he has to try and at least reinforce one of these battlefields to make sure that Teddy can't double conquer on his turn. We do see a switcheroo in the hand, as well as a Vex that might be able to help with that reinforcement and suppress that threat of an accelerated Draven coming in.
Looks like we're going for the battlefield stack. If Teddy does not have a hard bargain in hand, this could prove to be very devastating for him. And then playing his own Vex to a battlefield to prevent any acceleration on his units could be very brutal for him here. But one Starcross onto that Ferris opens up a lot of doors for Teddy here. To just focus on one battlefield, maybe throw a Pouty onto the other one.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like Daly reinforcing this battlefield with the Vex and the Draven Showboat. Trying to put all his eggs in this basket to see if he can hold the battlefield here. And then finally just hiding a card at one of the locations.
Hide
think
one here, hide one here.
Hiding 2 cards.
Hiding 2 cards. One of them's for sure Switcheroo, has to be.
That's a tricky thing with playing into Chaos decks. So many tricks you have to consider, and although you won't always have an answer for them, unfortunately. Even if you're playing a green deck control, sure, you can defy something. What if they have a not so fast? Or you can defy something and they'll hard bargain you. Lots to consider, especially since Teddy is playing a deck that isn't famously known for having these counter spells.
Okay, this is what? 4, 9, 13. 13 plus 4.
Although I think he does have options. I'm pretty sure he can re-equip those axes even after throwing them onto his Noxus Hopeful to clear a battlefield.
Yeah, it might be a situation that you see in like a lot of Azir decks or a lot of equipment heavy decks where you keep whittling away that battlefield with one unit and then re-equipping those equipments and slowly trying to win back that battlefield with extra might you get from those equipment.
Yeah, lots of might cascading, but will Teddy see the line?
10, 10. Yeah, 10
We'll have
plus
to see
14.
if he does here. And another really devastating thing is Switcheroo, of course.
You can't play any.
You get Switcheroo,
25 currently.
could be pretty brutal for you in terms of
25.
might, but because your unit just dies and you still retain the might from your axes, not the worst situation in the entire world. You just have to watch out for all of your power, seeing if you
let's
have
see.
enough to play around with.
13.
Yeah, it's a really difficult position, not only with the sequencing with the axes and all this might on the battlefield, but you know, trying to figure out what are those 2 hidden cards under both those battlefields. Hopefully Teddy having other combat tricks in hand as well to help him with that calculation there. More cleaves, or if they have any blood rushes that they play.
How many
Yeah, there's a lot of sequencing here. I think there's a possible out, but will he be able to find the correct
matter
play,
what,
the
I have
correct
to-
sequence to
Yeah, I think it's a
get his units out of the way?
I'll go here.
Because how much
with
is each spinning
13 to
axe?
begin
Each
with.
spinning axe, I believe, is 3.
So you might just be able to have enough might over those spinning axes. It would be on daily to also figure out when the best timing is to play these hidden cards, especially if there's a switcheroo.
So yes, that's 3 might on spinning
I'll pass
axe.
as well.
So
I
total,
will
it looks like
kill,
the Noxus Hopeful has
these
13
Oh,
might.
these three.
Yeah,
And
then
9 might
12,
being able
right,
to
this is
cascade
13,
down
yeah.
to other units is pretty big.
pretty hefty.
Looks like a very, very big trade here.
Yeah.
Getting rid of the Vex, opening the line for playing an accelerated Draven.
Yeah, it's a very solid position being able to kill off that Vex early.
But if Teddy does not anticipate the
switcheroo.
switcheroo, could be brutal. But we can't really see his hand here. Could
Yeah,
be a hard bargain in hand.
could be a
could
hard
surprise
bargain.
us.
Daily doesn't have any runes up, so it'd only, be able to cast it for 2 and not have to worry.
Now, I don't know. Okay, Darius. I don't know which side of the battlefield he has his Tide Turner on and which side he has his Switcheroo on. If he swings onto the side with Tide Turner, could be very good for him because then you're forcing Dale to choose. Do you want to activate that Tide Turner and keep it there, or do you want to switch it with your Ferris?
It does also look like we did get a peek at Teddy's hand. He does have a rebuke that he can play to kind of free up one of those hidden cards and make the math a lot easier on him.
Okay, and he's hitting the rebuke.
gonna do
That
it on the
is
Draven.
going to be enough, I think,
And then
to ready
resolve,
Darius.
I guess.
That's +2 might on Darius, up to 7.
Yeah, it looks like he's targeting, I believe it was the Draven showboat there. See if Daily has anything to react with here.
Draven Showboat over Ferris is interesting, but I could see the line for that. You know, you don't want to deal with that big might. You can rebuke him, and then you can send in your Vex or your Rek'Sai to clear out his Vex or Rek'Sai.
Overreact.
Yeah,
I'll
honestly,
switch
in
over
my
Draven,
position,
my Rex.
oh, he's doing the switcheroo with his own 2 units. Interesting.
This is.
Yeah.
Swap mines to 2 units. That's good.
Sure.
So
That's
the
good,
Rek'Sai will go to
interesting.
10,
So
and
going to
then-
preserve some of that might when Draven comes back to his hand.
I would say the biggest part of the battle is over.
Yeah, all he has to really worry about is that Ferris Forerunner side, making sure that Teddy doesn't overcommit into this lower battlefield to keep up all the rest of his might. For
Well,
the
we know that
Ferris.
it's a Tide Turner up there. Teddy doesn't. So, does he want to clear out the bottom side and then try and clear out the top side first? Could be the play here. Could be the play. He has enough runes to re-equip those axes multiple times. So,
Yeah. If I was in his position, I'd probably just try and use the axes to clear out this lower battlefield and trade, and then re-equip them and cascade onto
Pin
the
power
second
touch,
battlefield if possible.
I'll go here.
Looks like he's going into the lower battlefield here with 1 axe equipped to the Darius. Also the +2 from a second card rebuke being played.
Tide Turner swap. Okay.
And Daily trying to put,
I will
make sure he doesn't
go 7.
overcommit
Yep.
in one position and stack up all his might on the second
Draven
battlefield,
draw.
hoping that he'll be able to hold into the next round.
Zon trigger.
Even a switcheroo here could be really, really good for Teddy. The ball is in his court now. Dale's all tapped out. He played everything he could.
So this is
Yeah, it looks like
16. Yeah, 60.
Teddy just might have the might enough to get over it with these axes.
We'll have to see, I think. We will have to see. If he sends in Vex first and then trades and then cascades that might down, he might have it. And with still 2 runes up to spare to see if he has any way to deal with
Okay.
the other Rek'Sai.
Power.
or Ferris if he decides to let the Ferris live.
It looks like putting those axes on the Rek'Sai and
will walk
bringing her into the
in.
battlefield.
That will be 10 might. Assault 1 from Rek'Sai going up to 4 plus
you
3
got it.
plus 3.
Yep, trading out and then being able to
Oh.
put these back on.
Looks
and
like it's a scoop.
Okay, when I
Yeah,
said Draven
Teddy
had easy
having
lines,
enough might to take that game.
That line
It's a
was
very
really hard.
interesting mirror matchup that we have here with
Well, I
slightly
mean,
different
it's hard
decks, but
because we were
a
playing
lot of the
against each
same
other, like-
themes throughout
like that,
with that
to figure
Rek'Sai
out,
and
like,
a lot of
what was
Darius
set.
and Kaisa that
Yeah,
we
kind
see
of
in these decks.
The switch on
Teddy
the,
played that extremely well. Like that
I
that
think
was a
in
lot to
hindsight,
think
that's
about. I
first
don't
is
know if I
always
would have
correct.
seen the
Yeah.
line, to be
It
honest.
makes sense.
Yeah,
Unit
especially
not
playing
with
those
Yeah.
three
Keeping
axes
that
in
the
that
same,
turn
but,
with the Noxus Hopeful.
I mean, I think
I don't know, I guess he was able to cascade down
down
that equipment, but it seemed like a risky play on
I
that.
get
Triple
that's
spinning
correct.
I think I
axe is
actually would be
crazy
okay with
though.
that.
Like
I
having
actually
all
don't
3 in
wanna
your
fight
hand
into
like
this
that.
battlefield.
Yeah.
I was
So
gonna lose
early.
anyways, right?
It's
I think
interesting that
I'd
we
rather
didn't
just
get to
keep
see
as much might as possible on
the
this battlefield.
accelerated
So I was actually kind
unit
of
from the champ zone,
well,
the
you can still
Shoba,
cascade the
because
weapon,
it does
so
look like
it
that
makes
line is
sense,
pretty open, but I'm not sure if either player would be able to bring that out with the threat of the Vex on both sides.
Right. I also think that, you know, it's such an obvious line that like you have to find ways to play around with it.
Yeah, it might be one of those things that looks like it's a threat that people have to play around, and then you never end up playing that line in the first place.
Yeah. I felt like my brain grew some wrinkles after that.
I'm curious to see what each side is trying to sideboard into this mirror matchup. I know we didn't see any Bryn heroes either, which might be helpful in this, especially with like.
I saw an invert timeline come out. Come
An
on,
invert
I
timeline?
love invert timeline. Put it back in. Lots of things coming on Teddy's side. I don't know if I caught them all.
Yeah, curious to think about what's going on in this mirror matchup in both players' heads here. It's interesting to see too that we both had 2 different blind battlefields in Zon Warrens and Seat of Power. I'm curious to see if we have the same battlefield lineup as well. If we get that, Zon Warrens out of Teddy or Seat of Power out of Dale.
honestly, I was debating on rebuking your
Is it Dale or Daly?
Forerunner to force you to
I
play
think
your
it's
Tide Turner
Daly.
away.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure that.
Oh,
I'd have
if
to
you
ask
had
him
rebuked
after the
then,
game.
yeah, I think
I've
Well, on
been
the
saying
Forerunner, but then I
Dale
just was
because
like,
I just
you just do it on
assumed
the right.
the E is silent.
In hindsight, it was correct, like for you to.
It looks like a very diverse
I just,
sideboard too
I
that Daly
just
has,
didn't
or
plan
Dale
on
has
it.
there. Almost
The
one
switch
of
on the
each
same unit. I
card.
feel like that was good.
Yeah, I was reading Switcheroo again because I don't think I've seen anyone use it like that.
Really, yeah. Teddy does have a point. Really interesting usage of switcheroo, switching the mights of your 2 units to try and preserve
That
it.
first game was a little long, so
Yeah.
just so we're a little aware.
Point. Okay. Yeah.
I think card art should run a B tier, C tier deck only Nexus
oh,
night. I think it'll be fun.
Honestly, I've been asking for that. If we had
gonna give
Nexus
myself
nights or just like,
Sure.
play nights where we didn't have top tier decks, or especially we didn't have Aurora or things of that sort, I think it would be so fun. And
Or a night
honestly,
where everyone has to play Garen.
just have a Garen free for all there.
Garen free for all.
Interesting battlefield choices here. We have the amateur recital and arena's greatest here. I'm not sure how the amateur recital is gonna fare with winning battles at a battlefield in Draven.
I don't even know what amateur recital does. I'm kidding, I do, but definitely an interesting pick here.
Because you at some point you hold that battlefield and then send a unit back, but then you'd be sending a unit back away from a combat that you'd win, essentially.
Right.
Pretty standard play we see on Teddy's side. Same board development on his side with the Rek'Sai, and then we see Daly moving in to the amateur recital and reinforcing that with the overzealous fan,
Let's play Tide Turner base.
and then a second Tide Turner without any trigger. I wonder if Daly didn't have the best opening hand or mulligan, just playing a bunch of these 2-drops early on. No Kaisa accelerated, or no Kaisa coming in, or any other, really solid 4-drop that we see in these colors.
I think we see a Kaisa in Teddy's hand. I definitely saw Noxus Hopeful. He definitely has a lot of choices here. Not enough runes, but a lot of choices. if he has a tide turn, he could potentially conquer with
Three.
Rek'Sai
Trigger,
and swing back, but
Riftbound,
choosing instead to play
three.
Vex early on and develop, giving Dale that point tempo.
It's really interesting. We keep seeing Teddy play the Rek'Sai out turn 1 and not conquering. Really valuing that accelerate that the Rek'Sai gives you. But you know, putting him behind in point tempo pretty drastically here.
4. Yep, you're good.
The players' differences in playstyle is really showing through here as well, with Dale choosing to develop a lot of units on his board compared to Teddy, who plays a much more methodical and slower playstyle, choosing to develop units with bigger abilities in the backline before conquering here. I wonder if he... never mind. I was going to say, I wonder if he has another spinning axe in his hand, but it looks like maybe a cleave, maybe a rebuke here.
It's very interesting seeing these players play as well, knowing kind of what at least Dale came before on a Fiora deck, kind of playing out the Draven similar to how I used to play Fiora. And I can't quite remember what Teddy used to play, but I feel like a lot of that, their previous deck experience is slowly seeping into the way that they're developing and playing this Draven deck.
Okay, I see what Teddy's doing here. He's going to swing in. He's going to ask for the overzealous fan trigger. If he triggers it, that's the deflect. And if he doesn't, then he just cleaves and kills both of them there.
It's a solid play there, especially that deflect on the Vex being so annoying as well. A lot of runes here for Teddy. Probably ending up to develop the board state when he can.
He still has the option of accelerated Kaisa with a cleave to clear out that Vex. And yes, you're going down a rune, but you already taxed a rune from Dale's side after that Vex play. So going down a rune here, not too bad.
Yeah, not too bad. And you get the double draw off of Draven as well.
You clear some might, you double draw.
Looks like just a normal Kaisa coming out of Teddy, holding up 3 runes, probably for a spinning axe again. But choosing not to accelerate into that battlefield and clear out the Vex.
Once again, really trying to keep that might up. Sure, he could have cleaved on and killed that Vex, which is what I would have done, but, you know, I'm dumb compared to him. I would have cleaved on, killed the Vex, and then immediately gotten traded after by the Noxus Hopeful, so...
Looks like Dale trying using the trigger to bring back Rek'Sai, which I'm pretty sure Teddy's happy about keeping that Rek'Sai alive.
Teddy's already at 6, so...
Yeah, it's a very huge point discrepancy that we have. Very threatening position for Dale to be in, especially because Teddy's going to have to claw back these battlefields and hold them, which is, again, extremely hard to do in the current state of Riftbound.
But we've seen Teddy come back from impossible situations before, so maybe he knows something that we don't. So.
Maybe.
Here.
It's like the Vex going into the first battlefield.
Let's do it now. Stack that? Yep.
Dale holding up 2 runes, probably just for stack decks here.
Double stack deck?
Yeah, there's not much besides... there's not much else in these colors that we'd see for like one rune's worth of energy. Yeah, there you go. There's the double stack deck.
But honestly, Dale could even take his time. He could take another turn to develop and still be okay.
Yeah, with this point discrepancy here, he has so much time to just draw a bunch of cards, develop his board, and not have to worry about any threat of Teddy closing out the game yet.
Got 4.
Being able to ramp really easily. He has a lot of options. I don't think he wants to play the hidden card game anymore after what went down last match, though.
Yeah. I know Teddy here having rough decisions, trying to figure out how he's going to hold these battlefields from daily double conquering at some point.
There's advantages to playing hidden cards, right? Like, you can play a hidden card, your opponent won't know what it is, and you'll get faster reaction speed at a lower cost, but at the same time, you're giving them knowledge that it could be a hidden card, and there's only so many hidden cards in the game at this point. Could be a tide turner, could be a switcheroo. Used to be a fight or flight, but that card's banned now, so not a fight or flight anymore. but very, very few things that it could be. So your opponent has an easier time playing around it compared to playing just an action speed switcheroo from your hand. A little bit more expensive, but a little bit harder for them to play around.
Yeah, it's a very interesting complexity problem here, especially as we get more sets coming out. You know, having to figure out what is that hidden card that people are playing in specifically these colors. Daly here trying to figure out if he wants to challenge any battlefield here, at least get 1 point and threaten to hold and or conquer the second battlefield. But again, he has all the time in the world here, at least, you know, to develop more if he wanted.
A switcheroo here would be really good, but I reckon Dale likely has a way of countering that switcheroo. Oh, a
Rebuke here
rebuke.
again. Seems like the card of the night that we keep seeing from a lot of these purple decks rotating back into the meta slowly. Being a solid answer to a lot of these cards like Vexor or, you know, huge might units like this Draven that we see.
A lot of these control decks really value Fizz, Star-Cross bouncing due to its cheap nature, right? Like you play Fizz, you get a free unit, and then you bounce it, basically nullifying the other condition for Star-Cross, and then replaying that Fizz, and being able to play Star-Cross just for an extra power from your trash, which is really strong because essentially you're able to bounce 2 units for the price of 1. And so because of that, Rebuke is a little bit less favored, but Rebuke, because it doesn't have any conditions, is stronger in its own right as well.
Looks like Daly fully reinforcing this battlefield, threatening the hold from Teddy's side. And then Teddy does get a hold trigger to try and move a unit back, but Teddy has to find some sort of way to move over to that other battlefield, or else Dale's just going to be able to hold to 8.
And as we saw, that's a hidden switcheroo, so he does need a way to nullify that switcheroo here. If he can kill that Vex though, it opens a lot of lines for him. If he can kill that Vex, he can suddenly accelerate any unit he wants onto that other battlefield. Now, does he have another Rebuke in hand to deal with that Vex or deal with that Draven? Draven's at 10 might right now. That's a lot.
11. What a weird number.
Yeah, Teddy has a lot of cards in hand, so hopefully a lot of good options to get him through this. He also does have the option of accelerating any unit from Rek'Sai, but again, costing one more power and 1 more energy.
The problem is Vex stands in the way of that.
That's true.
He
Again,
does have 2 spinning axes in hand. We saw that.
Always being a problem.
Okay, cleave.
9.
Now, very strange ruling question. Do you know if you can accelerate mech tokens? No, right? They're tokens. They're not units.
Yeah, they're not units on their own, but they are like token units. But I don't think they fully have the accelerate cost as well, since you're not paying costs to play them.
Okay, tap 2, recycle 1. Yes, you can accelerate mech tokens.
This is gonna be
Thanks for the Razor Ninjas.
12.
Yeah, 12.
The more you know. The more you know.
So Teddy moving in here, possibly trying to get rid of it. We see the switcher come out of Dale.
Thinking here.
Hard bargain check. Do we have a hard bargain? Do we want to even hard bargain this?
I mean, it's a pretty big card to hard bargain here. It tends to switch.
Is that a Putty Poro? I think that might be a Putty
It might be a
Poro.
Putty Poro.
I don't think he has the hard bargain. However, he can still play around it. He still can drop.
You got it.
He can still drop the spinning axe.
Couldn't play right.
But okay,
Looks like Teddy just conceding that round.
maybe the might cost could have been too much. Like, sure, maybe he could have played the hidden axe, and then maybe he only had a Pouty Portal left to accelerate into that other battlefield, which might
mean,
not have been enough.
There's also the consideration Teddy has, they have 16 minutes left in the round. It's already round 2 late into the day.
Right.
Maybe trying to preserve a lot of that mental for game 3 rather than trying to, potentially win on this.
But they're already, at the end of that round, you might as well try and think through all your lines, right?
Yeah.
That being said, going into this next round, Teddy does have the advantage of likely going first. Unless he has a plan and chooses to go second.
Yeah, I mean, this is, the first time that we'll see him go first. So definitely a different line we'll see out of Teddy, and hopefully he'll get on that front foot to be able to take out this game. It's interesting seeing the sideboard matchups here as well. Knowing on Teddy's side, seeing that switcheroo come out twice, like what kind of other information are we trying to gain from this in sideboard and against cards like the switcheroo? It's like 2 cards in and 2 cards out for almost both sides there.
None of these players know the tech like I do. They're not running triple gust.
Triple gust. I know, it's a card that's always so annoying, especially if it's those low might units or like probably the overzealous fan. But
I love gust. It's such a versatile card. You can gust their units to prevent tempo. You can gust your units to activate on play effects such as from Tide Turner or even Fizz. Even though I don't play Fizz, I only play Tide Turner. But no, you can play it on Scuttlecrab as well. I play a lot of Scuttlecrab. I play a lot of Irelia. That's a free draw. You play Gust on your Scuttlecrab, free draw.
It is a free draw, very very expensive free draw.
It's not that expensive. It's 2 draw. You get free draw and you get info on their hand.
Moving into the game 3 here, I'm curious what the last battlefields are. We haven't seen any identical battlefields yet from both of these players.
Targon's Peak into Forbidding Waste. Okay, it looks like Dale fully teched his deck to play into Master Yi. That's a Master Yi hate card if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, it seems like honestly a lot of the meta that has shaped up because of Master Yi's popularity has been anti-Master Yi and anti-Aurora before, but most of the time seeing that like anti-Master Yi into the decks that we see a lot, preventing those Rangars coming down, or even the buys that we see in a lot of yellow decks.
Really happy to see that. I really hate Master Yi.
It's a really interesting thing going into Vendetta. Curious to see what Riot ends up, banning in the next ban wave before Vendetta comes out.
It looks like Master Yi is getting stronger unless some bans hit him. I doubt any bans will hit him because he's a I struggle to say relatively tame, but relatively tame deck compared to set 2 Draven.
Yeah. Curious to see, we have the Poro coming down from Teddy's side and then Stack Deck from Dale.
Let's hope he didn't whiff his 2-drop. That would be really unfortunate.
It'd be a really rough position after all these very close games here.
Okay, he did not whiff his 2-drop. Fan.
It's a pretty solid 2-drop to have too when you can conquer a battlefield and then effectively prevent a point from your opponent moving in with another unit.
One overzealous fan into one pouty boy, though. Who wins?
I'm always on the side of the Poros. They're some of my favorite cards, and I love seeing all these new Poros printed. Yeah, hoping that, there's more overnumbered Poros like we saw in Unleashed.
You're definitely going to be taxing that fan if he decides to blow back the Poro for whatever reason.
That's true. It's an interesting position that we see the Poro being here. Usually only in that Draven deck, but very advantageous with a lot of the annoying recycle costs that you see on these deflect units. It's a very interesting playstyle too, with a lot of these players foregoing the first point and choosing to rather develop their board.
Now, with the advent of Vendetta, are there any cards that you're particularly excited about? I know a lot of people are not excited about the Decree cards that are hitting the board, but they're definitely interesting, especially if Riot decides to ever give us a bigger sideboard.
I'm curious to see if they're going to print us a lot of hold cards. I know like Ari is a very popular champion, but holding isn't the best thing you can do in Riftbound. But we do see cards like Shen coming out to give units tank action speed. So I'd love to see more support for holding. And then personally, as a Leona player, seeing at least a few stun cards is always very grateful. Another turn going by from Teddy without developing and conquering any points. Holding up 4 runes as well. Interesting position to see these players in.
Like, go ahead. It's good. Draw. Off Kai'Sa.
Can Riot unban fight or flight? I want my fight or flights back. Like, I think fight or flight, unironically, might have been one of the only cards keeping Master Yi in check.
Potentially. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a decently sized ban of waves of bans in this next set. I know a lot of people are, again, that Star-Crossed card, a lot of people are hoping that gets banned, or the droves of people that have frustrations with like Aurora or other decks that eventually have an infinite or a win con that
I don't mind playing into Aurora. I think Aurora has very clear weaknesses. Yes, Aurora is the easier way of playing these big might decks, but I think that's probably because there's a bigger issue as well. Playing these big might decks isn't worth it because of these bounce cards, because of Rebuke, because of Star-Crossed, right? And even then, their mid-range variants are substantially weaker because of these bounce cards. So I think that's just like an indicator of a bigger problem that Riftbound has. Not so much just Aurora doing Aurora things, right? So I don't think Aurora is deserving of that ban. Star-Crossed, on the other hand, can go.
Yeah, I'm also really excited to see a lot of these. We got another unit that was a 1-drop unit. Hopefully that Riot starts printing a lot more low-drop, low-might units that we can have potentially a lot more true aggro decks in this game. Looks like we have Teddy finally getting his first point with the Vex going to Targon's Peak. And then seeing how he wants to develop out the rest of his turn.
Very interesting to me how conservatively that Teddy plays, though. Because he's willing to go down on point tempo just to develop. In which these red decks are always known for being, the first one on point, being that much more aggressive than non-red decks, right? Even if this is a mirror matchup, usually they want to get on point, they want to conquer, they want to be ready, versus developing and playing it slow.
I will choose not to target anything.
Looks like that hidden card wasn't Evelyn to help with the Foreboding Waste against this Pouty Poro. Anything that Teddy might have in hand to be able to punch over this Evelyn.
Just a cleave. Just a humble cleave.
Just a humble cleave, as usual.
I love
Oh,
cleave.
sorry, cleave. Yeah.
Still would be 5 to 6. We got a spinning axe coming in from Dale on the Kai'Sa to try and save that unit.
Now, will we see a spinning axe from Teddy? Are we going to go spinning axe for spinning axe?
That would be the play. Seeing Teddy all the time doing these spinning axes, I wouldn't be surprised if that was the next play, or maybe another cleave.
He's thinking real hard, so now I'm not so sure he has a spinning axe in hand.
2 cards in hand? 2 cards.
2 cards in hand on Dale's side. I don't know how many. It looks like Teddy at least has 4 cards.
Yeah, it's a position that Teddy's in that he could take a big swing on the tempo of not only points, but a lot of cards in hand to be able to develop his board further. A really, heavy decision turn to see if Teddy wants to try and fight for this battlefield or not, and then end up leaving 1 Poro.
Draw 1. Yep.
Looks like he's choosing to not play any more cards and have the Poro end up dying here.
What is that? That's
Type in
7 recycle 2. Is that a mind splitter? Oh, that's a mind splitter.
Yeah.
Again, another card you usually only see in Aurora.
Bye-bye Rebuke. That's gone. But honestly, Falling Star onto Mind Splitter with a Poro, and that Mind Splitter is gone.
Yeah, and I think in Teddy's position, I'm not too worried about Rebuke, especially if he's rebuking the Mind Splitter, because then you can just replay and rip another card.
That's so true. That's so true.
Tough decision.
I think if I was in his position, I'd probably try to either get rid of the Vex if he does have the Rek'Sai in hand, or again that Falling Star, which threatens a couple of his units, especially his
Right.
Vex on the battlefield.
And
Honestly, all really good cards for him to choose.
Yeah,
I'll do the Vex. Yeah.
it's like
Okay.
choosing the Vex to help his game plan of eventually accelerating his
power.
unit,
Hide.
and then hiding a card on the
Ready
Targon's
to.
Peak.
Yep. There you go. Hold.
Ready
2, 3.
to.
Draw.
Now, being in Dale's position with only 3 cards in hand, it's kind of a rough spot to see. What are we trying to do here? Just maybe move
There's a
back our
Vex on
units
it,
and
right?
read it up
Yeah,
because
yeah.
we're ahead in points by 2, so not too much of a threat to Teddy closing out the game anytime soon.
Riftbound being awfully quiet lately. I haven't seen any new card reveals since this morning, so
Here.
I'm just waiting for a lot of the altards. I know Riot's starting to release the artists, and we're seeing a lot of really good stuff come out of them. I know in these Nexus sets they're talking about a lot more overnumbered or a lot more altards. So excited to see whenever they drop any new cards.
please pray for me. There's only one Crystal Rose skin left to be revealed, and it's Fury Domain. It could be Kaisa, it could be Vayne. I know it's not gonna be Vayne, but I want it to be
If
Vayne,
it's
so please pray for me.
That card is already so expensive. Like, and it being a crystal would make it so much more expensive.
I actually think it's gonna make it go down in price a bit because now you're flooding the market a little bit more with this highly played card. So it could bring it down, at least the normal version, and then this version could spike up. So
Looks like Teddy playing the Tide Turner and getting his Mind Splitter over to the other side. Daily having to rebuke the Mind Splitter back to hand.
Draw. Yep. Good.
At least giving him a chance to draw. That is a good part about Rebuke in this deck, is you do get to win a combat and then draw off of it, letting you replace that Rebuke. See, playing out the Noxious Note, hopeful in developing his board. Teddy's very much in a position pressured to develop his board and get to the other side, being behind by 2 points here.
I think Teddy might be in a little bit of trouble though. I think I might be wrong, but I think I saw triple Tide Turner in his hand.
Oh my god, that would be the worst hand.
I think that's a Tide Turner that's hidden.
Oh,
Another Tide Turner being the hidden card. Okay.
So now currently 10. Yes.
Triple Tide Turner, so brutal.
He was good.
And then there's the cleave
so
to potentially get Dale
10,
through.
10, holding.
10 to 10. He needs one more card. Oh, and we do see a spinning axe in hand.
I don't think Teddy runs Switcheroo. I haven't seen him play it.
Yeah, it seems like
13.
it's been a pretty good card on Dale's side to help with a lot of these battles, but Teddy we haven't seen it come out of Teddy. Just a lot of spinning axes usually.
We do see the little scuttle crab card. I forget what it's called. Factory Recall? We do see Factory Recall. One energy returns the unit back to hand, or the gear back to hand, I believe.
Yep. Draw
Looks like Teddy was giving that
draw for
battlefield
combat.
over to Dale. Very rough again in these Draven matchups where you get to draw a card off of the Kaisa as well as drawing a card off of winning the combat. And then again that Draven card not having to exhaust, so doing it at least twice a turn.
It's looking fairly rough here in terms of development on Teddy's side. He only has 2 2-drops to play with.
Ready to. Yeah.
Limited amount of units in hand. It could be a bad draw kind of game, not drawing into Kaisa, not drawing into those spinning axes to help assist with his conquers.
Yeah, and luckily for Teddy, Dale's on an odd point tempo number, so he does have a couple more turns to try and develop and regain his state, even though it's still a huge gap of 3 points here for Teddy.
With 2 minutes left on the board, it looks like we might go into overtime though.
Yeah, and if Dale can hold that position of plus 2 points on Teddy, it might just be the game for Dale to win.
Yeah.
Okay, Rebuke.
Go to 3. Yep. Draw.
It's always an interesting position. Riftbound being a game that tends to go very long in the turns. There's a lot of hidden information, a lot of sequencing that players have to do. So very regularly getting to overtime in round 3. When you're playing your Irelia deck or when you're playing your matchups, is that something that you're considering a lot on, early turns? We see a lot of people scoop early to try and either save that time or save the mental.
Yeah, for sure. With my Irelia deck, I play really linearly, actually. If I have a Gust in hand, I'll try and hold the Gust, turn 2, Gust their unit, try and disrupt their point tempo. If not, I just play my two cost onto the battlefield. Sometimes I'll conquer, sometimes I won't, depending on if I have might, if it's a scuttle, if it's a tide turner. And something about Irelia is I actually don't like playing on curve with Irelia. You play Irelia on curve, she's gonna get murked right away. You play Stellacorn on curve, she's gonna be found shot dead in the back of an alley. Like, you can't play those cards on curve. You have to wait an additional turn so that you can maybe have a Guardian Angel. And if you play Guardian Angel turn 1, it can be really bad for your tempo, because now you don't have a unit to conquer with. Suddenly they're up to 4 points and you're playing catch up. It's a really tough position to be in with Irelia. So you have to play patiently, wait, and try and hold up runes in case they want to get rid of your unit through a bounce. Hold up runes for a not so fast, for double defies.
It does look like we are in overtime on Dale's side, being at 6 points from that hold. So 3 more turns we have here. Hopefully Teddy's able to, get back the points, get closer to that 6 points, and make sure he closes that gap in that overtime. It's a rough position having to, have to conquer and hold in this overtime position.
For sure. With here, Teddy is turn 0. We will only have a couple more turns, so he has to play in a way that is able to close out the game if he wants to win. That being said, it looks like next turn could be the decisive one. Look at how many units Dale has. He's at 6 points. He's threatening the double conquer here.
Yeah, a lot of units there by Dale, and he's even has a Kaisa if he needs extra cards to move in and slowly get more cards to get his advantage. I know the last card we saw was the Falling Star in Dale's side, so probably able to Falling Star a couple of those units out of the way.
Forbidding Waste here might actually be played to Dale's advantage, because if you notice, he has a Tide Turner and a Mind Splitter on the battlefield, but the Tide Turner easily goes away. It can easily die to a 2-cost unit from Dale's side. That chunks the Mind Splitter down to 5 for an easy clear from Dale here.
Looks like the Falling Star coming through, giving Dale an easier time to conquer these positions. We still have a hidden card by Teddy and haven't seen a switcheroo, but maybe here's the time for Teddy to play that switcheroo and pull back at advantage. A lot of might though that we see on Dale's side, so not sure if there's an out for Teddy.
This could be really decisive for Dale. I'm sure he'll play it slow here, try and clear the battlefield.
Very, very clean play, trying to move in and trade with the Poro.
Okay, Tide Turner switch battlefields with Mind Splitter.
Slowly gain more information in this game, especially because the lines are so long in this game. Any bit of information helps with that, like cognitive load.
I will kill this. Draw one. Yep.
See, and that Tide Turner is only going to defend for practically nothing then on the Forbidden Waste.
Yeah, Tide Turner is going to be at 0, I believe. Looks like Dale doesn't want to risk it. He might send in 2 units here.
Potentially scared of a Spinning Axe or an ambush unit, maybe a Rengar that might be tucked in on the side.
Rengar's not great at defending though, because remember he has Assault too, so he's gonna only be 3 might if he's sent here on this battlefield. That's the thing with these red decks; they're not awfully good at defending. So once you lose that tempo, it's very, very rough for you to play into.
Curious to see what we have in Teddy's hand that he's holding up. You know, oh, okay, a star cross there.
Star crossing the Draven.
But giving the draws and conquer to
This is my
Dale,
plan,
Yeah, go to 7.
all he has left
draw
here is
one.
a Mind Splitter
Draw,
defending.
yeah, draw 1.
One,
Yep.
one rune up.
That could be game. That could be
Focus.
game.
You got it.
Yeah, okay.
GG's.
Looks like that's Dale taking it home at the very end. A lot more aggressive on that Draven deck.
Very good showing from both players, though. Very hard fought.
Yeah, I was like, fuck.
Yeah, it's a very interesting matchup. We usually don't see the Draven deck in the first place, and then getting the mirror. Two players playing seemingly similar colors and similar decks, but on a very different pace and very different tempo. A lot slower than I expected, giving up the points in those first couple turns.
It was, in fact, really fun to watch. The triple spinning axe, brutal. Then, you know, Dale clawing his way back, even after going second on game 3.
Yeah, well, it's hopefully we have one more interesting game coming up. You know, we still haven't seen a lot of like Lilia. Surprisingly, not a lot of Yi or Aurora in the matchup yet. So don't go anywhere. We have one more round left, and then we'll be back in a bit. Hello, welcome back. We are going into round 3 at the Nexus night here at Carter in Sunnyvale. Pretty interesting matchups we've seen so far, but you know, in this last round we have a fairly standard, I say, matchup. Going to be a Master Yi into Rek'Sai here, but you know, as we wrap up here, sooner or later, remember to tune in on tomorrow if we end up streaming, and then Sunday for that skirmish. But it looks like the players are kind of setting up their decks, so we'll switch over to there and see kind of what we have on the battlefield. It's like a typical Rek'Sai deck into Master Yi. Some pretty, you know, top tier decks that we see every so often.
Okay, looks like the same Rek'Sai player that robbed me in broad daylight last week.
Robbed you in broad daylight. So it sounds like this Rek'Sai is a fairly strong deck that you've seen before.
Yeah, I got my knees broken.
I see, and then we have this Master Yi player over here, Shen, who again very comfortable on this Master Yi. When I was playing that deck as well, we would bring ideas back and forth with each other, but should be a pretty standard matchup here. A little rough though, not having a 2-drop for Master Yi, just only playing that Zanya's Hourglass. So, you know, as playing Master Yi, you really want to get on that battlefield early and get that point tempo and those, you know, defend triggers.
Honestly, completely fine with Master Yi because
do we need to
Zanya's
use
is
dice,
such a
or?
powerful card, especially once he gets one of those bigger units. Playing Master Yi on curve here to protect his Master Yi,
Clear for stream.
totally worth it, I'd say. Compared to playing a 2-drop and then playing the Zanyas and then wasting the Zanyas on that 2-drop.
Yeah, very traditional development here from Shin, being, you know, 2-drop into the 4-drop Master Yi. Again, very strong that we're seeing a lot of players loving that 4-drop in the champion zone. Being a very strong, consistent play that we see, especially in these new cards in Vendetta. Riot really embracing that with a lot of really solid 4-drops that we see. That, you know, that new orange and Bessa.
Oh my goodness.
Getting the trigger off of Rek'Sai on the Conquer. Seeing that vibe but not being able to really play it here out.
I was gonna say, he could have totally played the Vi to base. The red and the stun.
He could have played it to base. I don't know. In Rek'Sai, it seems like you want to play a lot of like very small units, a bunch of small units, and then end up buffing it with that Under Titan that you'll see. I don't know. I'm very excited for the Rek'Sai deck and gonna end up building it on my own because you know, as long as they're good 2-drops being printed, Rek'Sai is going to be a lot better.
Just use another one of these, I guess.
Yeah, lots of small might units here to try and take over the battlefield, especially with early tempo, with just having that bird to play, just moving it to the battlefield, very big.
Scuttle, draw card.
It's like just the development of Scuttle. I know we saw a couple 6-drops in Shin's hand, but he chooses to just play a couple 2-drops here and reinforce that Yi.
Yi already being a super huge unit. 2 turns into the round, going up to 7 might on defense.
Yeah, again, I feel like this Master Yi deck in the beginning of the Unleashed meta was super strong because it presented so much might for such little, you know, such little cards out. But once people started to learn and develop the meta, people started to learn how to play around Master Yi. It's kind of become this like litmus test to see if, you know, your deck is strong enough to pass up the Master Yi deck, or if you need to go back to the drawing board when developing your decks.
And even then with Master Yi, right? A lot of things to overcome beyond just the might, but also counter spells, defy, not so fast. Him having ways to keep himself alive through bounces. Like, yes, you can bounce the Scuttle with a Gust. Yes, you can maybe bounce with a Rebuke or not so fast, but that's ultimately going to be more expensive for you than for the Master Yi player. So see what Rek'Sai does here. Rengar. That's Assault on the Poro +1, so that's 3 might on Poro +2 on Rengar, so that's going to be 8 might total into 7.
Yeah, this Master Yi kind of struggling into a lot of these matchups that end up like using a lot of different units, a lot of small units being buffed up. So it might be a fairly rough match for the Master Yi player. It's really interesting too, seeing a lot of. It seems like a lot of people have been close to solving this Master Yi, but again, every time we end up, having a Master Yi play super well, other people then,
Close my
course
eyes
correct
and
to try and beat the mirror matchup if they're playing it.
This one?
Oh, getting the falling star off the top of the deck.
Yeah.
And then conquering with his recruits. Something I love and honestly I miss about playing yellow specifically is having those one drops or those one might recruits to be able to go conquer for yourself while still developing in your base. It was something I saw a lot when we were playing Victor early on and those 3-drop Victor decks. I've seen a lot in Darius as well.
Orange trigger, I'll discard.
Looks like we see a punch first and a charm in Shin's hand. Pretty well-rounded hand here. Rune Runner being pitched. We see a Rengar for a surprise defense. We have a way of reading his units with not Pit Rookie. First mate, Charm as well to deal with any backline units. Not that Rek'Sai realistically has any big backline units that you want to get rid of outside of red Rek'Sai.
It's a pretty solid position that this Master Yi player is in. I love being able to just have both battlefields there and hold up a bunch of cards in your hand, a bunch of runes ready, and say go to your opponent and have them kind of try and do the math here. It's just moving the Pit Rookie back and developing more in the base and buffing that first mate. Interesting that we haven't seen a Rengar or again any 5 or 6 drops out from the Master Yi side.
Looks like he's holding the Scuttle Crab hostage as well for info, choosing to swing in when he really needs to here. Probably in the late game within the last 2 turns when the Rek'Sai is either looking to double conquer or to hold for his final point.
Yeah, curious to see what the Rek'Sai player has in his hand. Usually it's again a lot of 2-drops, a lot of a lot of a lot of assault cards, as well as ways to kill off other units or do those kind of I kill one, you kill one, and sack a recruit for something good on the opponent's side of the board.
Lots of decision making here from Rek'Sai.
Just heat it power. Good.
Looks like conquering to 4, getting onto a good point for tempo, activating that Rek'Sai legend. We see Cold a week here.
I'd love to see the Nexus hopeful though, because Cold a week in this position, Shin has a lot of units that he can just throw away to the side, but love seeing that gambling the top 2 cards from the Rek'Sai there. Looks like reinforcing that battlefield as well. Always got to keep in mind, especially when playing against Master Yi, when is Rengar going to come down from the Master Yi players. So always trying to keep that might in mind.
Go ahead. Okay, I will
it's
hold
reinforcing
4.
there with 7, so 1 over that Rengar.
Go to 6 XP. Deflect and ganking are now active.
Yep, and then Master Yi being able to hold 6 XP, giving him deflect and ganking there. Honestly, really good that we can see from Master Yi. Rarely something that we see if you're able to hold with that Master Yi.
I honestly totally forgot he has that. Getting that free XP, getting those free keywords is so brutal.
Especially in a meta where there's a lot of ways to, star cross or bounce units, having that deflect as well is very helpful too. Moving the first mate in to try and take over that battlefield. It looks like no reactions from the Rek'Sai player.
See the power trigger, draw a card.
And then a very solid position as Shin is in, just having units at battlefields, and then a fistful of cards and all your runes turned upwards.
Interesting to see what the Rek'Sai player does here to try and get out of this situation. Although, with the nature of the Master Yi deck, it might be a little too much to overcome.
Interesting development to not hold up the runes, but just develop Rengar in base. I wonder if that's, a way to psych out because he does have a second Rengar in hand, or if he's just trying to develop as much as he can while holding up, a bunch of
one
runes.
card in his backpack and trigger deflect. Or 2 actually.
tough position to be in as the Rek'Sai player, only having, you know, two drops up. Effectively, what is the Mastery Legend whenever you move in. So, seems like the only way to potentially get out of this is, you know, we see like a Cleave or a Blood Rush to help out with this, or you know, some other accelerated units. But didn't get a look at Rake's list, so I'm not quite sure if he has any other things. I know we saw a Vi earlier as well to help with that, but didn't get a chance either to see his hand to see if he had one.
4 cards that you said?
Yeah, I mean, I
4
totally
up, 5
understand wanting to play a lot of these smaller units. Having the units to just run and sacrifice for these points is huge. But I think Vi is really, really good into the Master Yi matchup because you can send in your units, have enough might to keep them alive, and stun their one big guy so that they can't trade back.
Looks like the development of the Rek'Sai coming out from the
Development of
zone.
shame on this turn.
Development of shame.
Hold 7.
And then all Shin has to do is just reinforce these battlefields and
XP does not
hold
matter.
and threaten both of them to
Do
win
you not
this turn.
run a
So
Yi
might just move
Unstoppable in your
over
deck?
the
If I run a Yi
Vanguard to
Unstoppable
one
in
of
this
them.
deck. I don't know. Yeah, sure. I'll channel 2, draw a card.
Oh, and a Sabotage is a pretty solid position, especially to get hand information to set up for those holds later on.
I mean, lots of ways here for Master Yi to get hand information. You have Scuttle, you have Sabotage, you're double holding here, but you also have units ready to double conquer and win as well.
I'll just pass.
Okay.
Yeah, just the pass with all the runes open. Pretty confident in having the Rengar and a couple punch firsts in hand. Should be a solid game 1 for the Master Yi player, unless Rek'Sai can,
7
you know,
points.
top deck a few solid cards here.
I'll make this one.
Not even a Hidden Blade will do because of the Defy, so just some things to be aware of.
Pike, any additional cost.
Yeah. So 5, or if it's 4.
Pike, okay. And it looks like he accelerated the Pike. Not sure if he paid the additional cost for the +2, but oh, he did.
Alright, let's go investigate the Zon Warrens.
Investigating the Zon Warrens. A little Zon Warrens adventure, if you will.
Looks like he has 4, 8,
Back at the
10
+1,
right there.
We're at 4, 5, 6, 10.
Yeah.
And then a simple punch first and
This 7.
could get through this. But again, a lot of runes up here on the side of Rake.
Punch first, float 1.
There's the punch first from Shin.
Punch first is so brutal. If another punch first hits the board, it might be wraps for Rek'Sai here. Just not enough might to get over it.
There's the
Rengar, just to match the punch first, because that's plus 5 might
So
at the
I'm at
expense of
+7,
3
actually, so +6 and
3 energy, 1 power here.
Yep, and we're
Seven
still over on
So it's 10 plus 5. I have 15 right now.
11 to your 15.
11 to 15. Only 4 runes up left for the
Well, 12
Rek'Sai
to your
player.
15. Sure, go to combat.
Yeah.
I'll assign on.
Looks like Shin just
So this is a 5.
conceding this battlefield and letting Rake conquer here.
Let's do
Maybe looking for the
4.
opening
Let's do these three,
of
right? Then kill these.
Rek'Sai to react at some point when Rake moves into the second battlefield.
Okay, go to
Okay, now the
5,
real
Zon
question
Warrens
is,
to your-
can he clear that other battlefield, and can he hold on to it after he does clear it? 4 runes is a little spicy, a little low to be playing with, especially into a Scuttle double pit rookie with a Rengar, and then all of Master Yi's runes up. But I suppose we'll see after the attempted conquer this turn.
Okay, 4, 3, and 1. So a total of 8 might here.
Okay, I will Rengar aside.
Yeah, that's scoopable for me. Let's go
Yep,
next.
and then the Rengar, as we see.
Rengar.
Going on to game 2 with Massey
Okay, so you
taking
know
game
to
1
do the
there.
Zanya's turn 1 is seeing.
Looks like unlike
I
our
mean, I
first
didn't
two
draw two
matches
drop.
that took a relatively long time
Not
thinking
gonna
through their
lose
lines,
to-
these
to
matches
kill
might be
two drop
really
League, I
fast.
see.
With the nature of the Rek'Sai deck,
my only
wanting
way to
to
play this
play
matchup,
fast,
you know?
and
Supposed
if
to give me free
you run out of
candy.
gas, you run out of gas.
This matchup's hard.
Yeah,
to
it's
win.
this
really
Rek'Sai
hard.
deck being
Okay, I get to win
very
because some
fast
people
and
are
very
just like, I'm gonna play
gambling
my
as well.
two
You know,
drop
trying to
and
get good stuff off
I
the
get to
top deck.
cheese a win
We didn't see any
every
under
now and then.
Titans either, so no cascading into under Titan and
This
other
matchup's all
units
just patience.
that
I
could be
wait for you
played
to tap
out.
out and I go on one side.
A rough position for this Rek'Sai player, but hopefully we're able to see those combos in this game too.
I feel like after we see the ban list, Master Yi players might be orphans.
I mean, it depends. I don't think there's no way they're gonna ban Rengar because they just printed another card for him. But definitely would not be surprised to see a huge hit, especially in this rival set of Vendetta. We saw the card that was a 1-drop that had Mel on it. That was basically counter to punch first. So I wouldn't be surprised if there was a huge punch down of Master Yi into a lower tier deck.
I feel like the issue with that is that we have very limited sideboard slots in Riftbound. Maybe if they increase the sideboard slots to 10, maybe even 12, it would be a little bit more viable. But playing a very specific
gotta play
hate
slower
card
than a front
in a
screen.
game with so many
we're just
variables,
slamming
so many
dudes into
different
each
decks
other.
you have to anticipate might not be the play. And with Master Yi, I think an even bigger problem than the Master Yi unit or Orange Rengar is Camel.
Yeah, the camel. Especially, we also see the
under Titan or
gangplank that's
bust.
coming out too. That
Under Titan or bust.
even though
A little
the
bit.
empower could be reacted to, once that empower comes out, he's basically unstoppable.
It depends if they ban Starcross or not.
It's interesting too because you expect a card like this to have end of turn printed on it, but at least until it's errated, if he gets stunned or minus might or tried to be returned to hand from Starcross, he'll just get +3 forever.
They actually already announced the errata,
Oh,
so
really?
it's going to be end of turn. Yeah.
Okay. So that punches that down so much. But still a very strong card, not being able to, be bounced to hand or minus might after empowered.
Right. Looking like they are getting ready to go into round 2 pretty soon, or game 2.
Yeah, it's a huge sideboard. It looks like out from the Rek'Sai player. I know there was a few cards that looked like were gear hate in the main board, so that definitely coming out against Master Yi. We usually don't see a lot of gear in Master Yi, only 1 or 2 Zanya's Hourglass. But even then, like a lot of the Master Yi players, up at the regional winners, are starting to not like Zanya's too much and either move to 1 of or 0 of in that list.
Well, I guess we will have to see what Rek'Sai decides to side, and I don't play Rek'Sai. I honestly don't even play any token deck, so I'm not sure what you would want to side in here on the side of Rek'Sai. Master Yi might side in 1 or 2 cards, maybe more counter spells, but overall the deck should stay relatively stagnant, relatively the same.
Yeah, I know some Master Yi players have been playing the Fiora, which would definitely be sided out in this matchup. And then from the Rek'Sai side, usually the sideboards have, I believe it's the card that you can deal 3 damage to a unit at a battlefield. But besides that, I'm not sure what else you could sideboard in against this matchup.
Looking like the first battlefield might be Emperor's Dies.
Flickers fee. I'm assuming you want first.
The
Yeah, I'll
other
go.
one is
Shall we
Arena's Greatest.
Gentlemen's arenas.
Sure. 1 point each.
1 point each.
No, I'll actually wait for your turn and distract
Okay,
you
okay, no,
so you miss your trigger, you know?
Looks like a pretty fast game might be ahead of us, having Arena's Greatest out from one of the players, and then the Emperor's Dias coming from the Master Yi, or coming out as well, which is super beneficial for the Master Yi player as well. So
Alright, good luck,
if we
friends.
see the correct line from the Master Yi, it might be a very quick game, a very quick 2-0 here.
Okay, we already see double camel in hand. Surely one of those has to go, and it does.
It looks like on the Rek'Sai side there's Ferris Forerunner as well as the Under Titan, which you don't fully like to see either in the top deck on your hand or even on the knowing it's going to the bottom of your deck.
That being said, it looks like on the side of Master Yi, a little troubling. Not as many buffing cards. Could have been a punch first. No, just an on guard. So more units than buffing cards right now. More units than combat tricks. So I wonder how Shin will deal with this. And I eat my words, I guess. He pulled into a discipline.
Yeah, I mean, Scuttle Crab, especially if he's able to get onto the Emperor's Dais, very solid for giving you a bunch of cards in your hand. Might be a misplay from the Rek'Sai player, but, you know, moving to Arena's Greatest and leaving up the Emperor's Dais for the Master Yi player might be a big tempo swing back in the Master Yi player's favor.
Could be an Inferna here. Falling Star not doing all too much for Rek'Sai.
Sounds good. I'm going to pass. Go ahead.
Okay. Round 2. Draw a card.
Looks like no Rengar hand, so we can't do a Rengar play this turn, but very typical on the Master Yi side, bouncing the Scuttle Crab, replaying it again to get another card draw if possible, and then keeping that Sand Soldier out.
That's so huge for Master Yi. That's free card draw, and that's +4 might.
Yep, and then
+5 now.
reinforcing that Sand Soldier as well. Very standard line we see from Master Yi here, and Shin being someone that, you know, only plays Master Yi, very comfortable on these units.
Well, look at how fast Master Yi manages to get out of hand. Like one turn, one battlefield, and immediately you get a 5 might unit on one side that Rek'Sai has to try and contest. Rek'Sai has to try and deal with.
Yeah, it's interesting that we have all these Proving Ground legends still so viable and so prevalent in the meta. You know, originally Riot trying to print them as starter legends, but them being stronger than intended, it seems like. Rek'Sai player taking his time, thinking about his options here, trying to figure out how he can get over and conquer this Emperor's DS if possible, or just develop his board since he is ahead in point tempo.
Looks like an alternative playstyle where he's trying to hold on to these battlefields. He has point tempo. He's going to try and hold on and not let that battlefield go.
Yeah, it's a pretty solid game plan into Master Yi, especially if you're heading point tempo, since the huge weakness of Master Yi was, you know, reconquering battlefields, and Rengar helped a bit on that, and having Punch Fist helps a bit, but it's still kind of that weak point for Master Yi. So we'll have to see how Shin can get over to that second battlefield and get through that first Forerunner and the hidden card.
So it looks like no Rengar to really accelerate him onto that battlefield, but lots of combat tricks here. Could be another development turn for Shin because with these hold play styles, very, very slow to get points to accelerate the game out of control.
Looks like just, again, as you said, more development with the Poro and the Master Yi. Maybe hoping to sack the Poro later for some card draw. But there's not much you can do here without, you know, your six might units to move in and fight that Ferris Forerunner.
Might not be as fast of a match as we thought it would be.
Yeah, if I was in the Rek'Sai player's position, I would just end up trying to reinforce this battlefield more and make sure we have cards to fight if Master Yi comes in. Also, a development of that Rek'Sai champion as well would be pretty solid to set up for future turns.
Looks like they're thinking, seeing if they want to try and threaten the Conquer here.
Yeah, it looks like he does probably have the might with the Inferna and a Cleave or a Blood Rush. Since there is only one rune up, but again, playing into Mastery, you always have to assume that is Punch first.
Move the Empress dice on my priority. I'm going to ambush Rengar.
Looks like it was Rengar there, so
Currently
double
8 to 5.
assault units.
Currently 5, yes.
Yeah, plus
8
4 for the
might
stack, I have plus 2.
to 5.
Oh, it's 2
Yeah,
and
well, let's
2.
make it more clear for them. 5 to your 8.
The only option here is, does he want to on guard go up to 7? Not really worth it because you still
Alright, trade
have
up Rengar.
8 might
the
on the
Rengar?
side
Yeah,
of
yeah.
Rek'Sai.
Yeah, it looks like just a trade for that Rengar.
So,
And then potentially bouncing back that
I'm gonna go
Inferno
to
there,
5.
which would be
I'm gonna do the
very
full
solid
ass
since it
Emperor's
is an assault
Dice
unit.
thing, or I just put this thing back in my hand.
Looks like he will be bouncing it and using Rek'Sai Legend. So going for Rek'Sai Legend first.
Tap
Didn't
2,
end up
play the Nexus, hope
like
for
spending the
base.
one for the Sand Soldier though, leaving the battlefield open for Shin to be able to conquer again.
I mean, Sand Soldier's not really worth it here on the side of Rek'Sai, right? Like, you're spending 2 to put down a 2-might unit that's
didn't
going
pay
to
for
just
it.
die
You
to
don't
a
have
Pit
to.
Rookie,
You
die
have
to a
to,
Lonely
'cause you
Pole,
can
There's a special
the
rule
free
in
draws
this
to
card.
Master Yi.
Yeah. Channel 2. Draw a card.
I think better to develop a
Feed
big,
dependent
big
function
beefy
of the
boy than
battlefield. I
the
can't
Noxus
not do it,
Hopeful.
right?
Yeah, especially if you're swinging that point tempo a lot further with not letting Shin conquer or hold for that battlefield.
Swing the Poro in.
It's like sending the Poro in to potentially trade and get some card draw.
I'll trade the guy. Draw a card.
You could go.
Yeah.
Primal Rage
I'll
being a
run the Scuttle
pretty
Crab
solid
in.
top deck here. And then running the Scuttle Crab in to see if he is able to punch through with that Primal Rage. It
See, you're
has to
hitting as
develop
well.
his board state for one more turn.
Okay.
Since
one
Rake is
for XP.
on odd point numbers, he has a little breathing
Tell
room
me
here.
when you're finished.
Yeah, good.
Thinking of how to play around this, but if you see Master Yi's hand,
I'll run the
not
on my
very
pile at
many
Primal
counter spells. Although
what's
now
in
that
the
he's
11?
gotten
11.
onto point, holding those battlefields might be very difficult for Rek'Sai to be able to reconquer and hold and deal with it.
Plus provoke you,
Yeah.
whenever he's die, I'll make my 2 max.
Yep.
Yep. And again with that
for it.
Ferris Forerunner now having to
Got a 3 XP.
deal with
but
the
I think he
two
dies horribly next
3-might
turn.
units that come out of it. Another challenge for the Master Yi player to have to deal with on the next go around.
I'll move Pit Rookie here. Go to 5.
Moving Pit Rookie to Emperor's Dais.
Top
And
4.
then choosing
play an
not
Akshan
to
base and Master Yi.
bounce it, and then just developing with that Akshan. Interesting to see that in the main board and not side it out when we haven't had too
This
many
one up, right?
pieces of gear in this
one up.
Rek'Sai deck.
Still
What's gonna happen is I get
lots of
punched.
options here for Rek'Sai, I think. Shin did catch up in point tempo, but Rek'Sai can definitely still threaten the double conquer and hold for the win.
Yeah, very traditional of that. The Master Yi player again holding up one rune and then passing their turn to threaten a punch first and maybe play some of those mind games since the deck is very straightforward at this point.
7.
Not sure how many cards Rek'Sai
many
has
cards
in
in hand?
hand.
No.
6.
6?
Master Yi having 6. I suppose we'll see what Rek'Sai decides to do.
He's next you.
6 on my 6.
Yeah. That's prime.
All on guard. Want to hit and blade me?
Oh no. Inferno.
Inferno works
Oh,
too.
looks like the Inferno there to get over the on guard. Making sure Master Yi
Sure,
can
I'll
again
do
hit that
token.
6 XP threshold.
Okay, go to 6.
Yeah.
Going to top for Rexa.
Yep.
And then what are we getting off the top deck? Ooh, a Vi there. And a
Card's not
Pike.
horrible.
Pretty solid cards here that we'll see for the Rek'Sai, especially being able to, you know, if you choose the Vi and go in and stun the unit and not have to really worry too much about combat damage.
Looks like we are going to play the Vi to base. Could still threaten the Conquer with Noxus Hopeful now that
All tapped
Master
out
Yi
here?
is tapped out.
So I could do a Rengar experiment here, go there, see if you can just beat them, I guess. I don't know.
Rengar experiment.
Yeah, it looks like the Rek'Sai player trying to test out if if Shin has Rengar in hand or not. It's a very tough decision being, you know, more equal on points at this part of the game. Seeing if you want to conquer over that battlefield, get an extra point to 7, and then threaten the double hold. Again, with small units, so wouldn't be too much of a threat, but, you know, making sure Shin doesn't get that hold point on his turn. Curious if there's any hidden cards in Rek'Sai's hand too, to see if that's what he's trying to. Yeah, maybe another hidden blade coming out.
That's way too obvious. Like, Shin knows that there's a hidden blade in his hand, so if anything, he might have to cast it from hand instead of playing it as a hidden card.
Yeah, or in this position you could always hide it and then hidden blade your own card to get some more card advantage there.
I think
Close our eyes and make it happen.
at this point, hidden blade is just such a valuable card.
That's
You wouldn't
fair.
want to do that.
Trade.
Yeah. Looks like he's testing the waters here, trying to conquer this battlefield and see if call Shin's bluff and see if he has a Rengar or not.
Oh, you can take the XP tracker dice. Sure. Cool, sure.
Card here and pass.
Sure.
Surely Shin knows that's a hidden blade.
Draw.
Just will he pull into a Defy here? No Defy.
But he does have an Alpha Strike, which kind of circumvents that hidden card as well.
It does, it does.
I mean, at this point, he has to just make sure he can somehow get both battlefields. If I was in his position, it might be moving over to Emperor's Dais and then trying to kill the Inferno on the other battlefield.
I think he's trying to fish for that Defy. He might be regretting pitching or
Alpha Strike.
rolling that earlier
Locks on,
in the round.
2 and 2 on each.
Okay, I'm gonna hidden blade my Inferno.
Yep.
Yep, and there's the Hidden Blade, giving
So
him
I'll draw 2 and I make a
rake
here.
his own card advantage there, and then that Vi being a very threatening beast sitting in the base, you know, being able to stun whatever unit is sitting on the battlefield.
He manages to have double Call the Weak or another Hidden Blade. Could be
Conquer for
really
6?
good for Rek'Sai, especially if he's picking up the tells that Master Yi might not have that Defy in hand to deal with that Hidden Blade.
Yeah, or even a Rengar to try and like swing that point tempo, or swing that tempo.
If not Master Yi, Rek'Sai manages to double conquer here, that Zanya's does nothing for Master Yi.
Oh, wrong order of stuff.
Yep. 3 up.
3 up right now?
Yep.
Okay. And a hitting card.
3
I
up
draw
on
already?
Master
1, 2,
Yi is
3.
probably the scariest number of
Sorry, did I draw on my turn?
runes that you could ever have in a
I
deck.
genuinely forgot.
It could be so many things.
Yes, okay. Yeah, okay.
Diana could be just like a
So,
gust. It could
7
be like an
right
eclipse.
there.
It could
Yeah,
be
3 up.
3 up.
smokescreen plus a stupefy. But overall, limited amount of combinations. Whereas Master Yi, pretty wide range of combinations here.
Move to Arena's Greatest.
Sure.
Moving to arenas to get a card draw, hopefully finding another answer here and getting a trigger off of the Rek'Sai.
Could also play for.
Hold the week. Don't wanna
Could
hold the week
also play for the hold here on the other
1,
battlefield.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
You
7,
just have to watch out
8
for
runes to get
if
this.
he has a first bait in hand. I know he has a camel, some combat tricks through On guard, maybe. Discipline for sure. He did play his on guard earlier.
Yeah,
It's a
also,
very tense situation for Rek'Sai.
also again, the threat of Rengar at any point.
Okay,
We haven't seen it
after
yet
cycle
from
2,
Shin,
it's a
but
Falling Star Auction.
again, that's our information that we have. Falling Star onto the auction, hoping to get back that battlefield.
Discipline.
Disciplining him
Yep.
to keep him alive.
1 up now.
Yep. +2. Draw a card.
Yeah, that resolves.
Hit.
Okay, how does this work? So
And then
this
that
has helmet
honestly might
HP,
give
minus
Vi a
6,
pretty solid
so
swing
plus
into that
0,
battlefield
7,
with
6 damage on. So 1 HP
any
right
sort
now.
of
So 1 punch first would make it
combat tricks with those 6
Cut
runes
to
left open.
Void Rush, Test Prio.
Yep.
Okay, Void Rush. I don't know what we're fishing here. I don't play Rek'Sai. Could be, honestly, Pike could be pretty good
Wow,
here.
I can't even
Yeah,
cast
but
Pike.
we also don't have any
But
more
he-
red
yeah.
runes left open.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so
This is-
This is,
brutal.
yeah, this is Void Rush, right? How could I forget?
No.
Okay, so he has 1.
Can he accelerate any units? He can't play another Vi. Vi
Move
costs
here,
5.
Stun Auction, Test Prio.
If you had
He might
Yeah,
still
you
be
got
able to kill
Inferno,
though.
yeah,
Kind of
he's still
fun
able to
too,
kill.
help out, I think punch first
Yeah.
would have saved.
Well played from the Rek'Sai player. That's a scoop from Master Yi. Could never be me. I'm always the one scooping.
It's a pretty rough game there for Master Yi, especially not seeing any Rangars or any of the top end cards that we usually see. Being on an Emperor's Dais from your opponent too, it's a rough position to be in for Master Yi.
Now you're worthless.
Right? I wonder what they are going to side out this time, if at all. Maybe they don't side anything out.
Curious to see again.
Doing yours.
Master Yi player not really siding too many cards in, feeling pretty confident on the line. A lot of the times when you're playing Master Yi, it's did I draw my line or not correctly? But other than that, it's a fairly consistent deck, and we see looks like a pretty decent amount of cards coming out of the Rek'Sai player's sideboard. Might be those cards that he kept recycling away from the Conquerors whenever he would decline to cast any.
Still 23 minutes left in the round. This could be another lengthy match, or it could be relatively short.
I didn't play that Skulldugger Crab actually. That was better.
Master Yi player,
I don't
if
know
I
yet.
remember his
If you
battlefields
needed to
correctly, he
draw
should have an
a
Emperor's
certain
Dais on
spell,
his
then
I have
side.
2 disciplines.
And again, going first, huge advantage to
Oh
him.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess there's you probably didn't consider the Falling Star Vi interaction.
No, that's like fine because I figure you'll just pull a bunch of damage out of your ass. I guess. No, I guess it is the right play because I need units to win the next turn, or else I just lose the next turn, right?
I mean, if you didn't do that, I was just gonna go like move to another battlefield, close my eyes, and hide something, and just see what the fuck happens, right?
Yeah. It's
So
much
it's
really
hard to
tempo.
say. You
Overall,
never know.
Rek'Sai played really well though.
I will go first, please.
Maybe it's just because I don't play Rek'Sai. Maybe I don't see the same lines. But I always struggle so much into Master Yi.
You get to order Rek'Sai and Candelaire, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it's
I'm
interesting
pretty sure I
again.
have
The
to tap
Rek'Sai
the Rek'Sai
on game
legend
2 didn't
first
even
before
see
I
any
play.
of
I'm
the
not sure. It's a really
any of the
confusing
Under Titans to give him that free energy and or the 2 might on all of his units. So kind of
Yeah, I get to
suboptimal
do
lines, but we're
Candelaire
still
first
seeing
and then
pretty solid
Rek'Sai.
game plans out of the Rek'Sai.
I think with the Emperor's Dice there, it really backfired on Shin.
Good luck.
Because he was able to bounce that Inferno and keep reusing the Might from Inferno.
So you still see the Auction in the main board here from Shin, but he will bottom that card. Getting a punch first, a pit rookie,
Give me a second. I'm still
defy it,
Yeah,
let's
sorry.
say.
I thought you probably got your mills for some reason.
Okay, roll 2.
Yeah.
Then again, seeing that Under Titan isn't the best in your opening hand there, so Rig having to bottom that plus one other card.
Channel. Draw. Top. The rookie pass.
Okay, Shin can definitely play a lot more confidently this turn, knowing that he has a Defy in hand. Defy, combat tricks, pretty relatively good curve with like the units he has in hand as well.
Good. Go to 1.
Yeah, again, another rough position not seeing, you know, Rek'Sai early
Do
on
the thing.
in your cards.
Yeah, do the thing.
Go to 2.
Really fun play with first
low
mate being
trigger.
able to double conquer on that first turn with the Star Spring. So a very aggressive play out of Shin here.
That's really, really brutal for Rek'Sai, knowing that your deck wants to do that as well, but not being able to get on point first because of the nature of Riftbound and just being able to develop first.
One up right now.
Yeah, I know there's been a lot of conversation about should, you know, the first player in Riftbound draw and be able to draw on their card, or, you know, having the second player is too much of an advantage of having another rune channeled. But so far, nothing changing from those rules. But it's an interesting conversation to have since going first does swing you ahead so much sometimes, especially with battlefields like Star Spring.
Now, I know a lot of players here, me included, are basically in the set 4 waiting room, trying to see what interesting new legends come out. Have any caught your eye?
Honestly, a lot of the legends seem fairly middle ground in what they do, but I'm really excited about the enemy color pairs and what that might bring to kind of deck building, since we haven't had, you know, enemy color pairs to play with yet.
My poor boy Nasus being stuck with a legend with so many terms and conditions compared to Annie, and just having a weaker legend and weaker colors as well. Like,
yeah, interesting. I mean, you're able to do it multiple times a turn, I think. So, oh, you do have to exhaust him. We did see the Rek'Sai player doing like Falling Star on both battlefields to clear up the board and conquer for his first point here. And then trying to consider how he's organizing his cards to then trigger Rek'Sai.
Okay, Rek'Sai legend time.
actually, such high value from
Accelerate the Star Spring? Is that what they do these days?
Rek'Sai.
So what, I could do that.
Being able to play that Falling Star to clear 2 units at once, and then being able to conquer, just so you're not losing too much on tempo.
Yeah, we see again that Pike and Vi there coming from the top deck.
I'm a gambling man. That's why I play this deck anyways.
And on the Rek'Sai side,
Sure.
being aggressive here, going to Star Spring, conquering two points in one turn.
Good.
Being only on 2 runes after that though, so very behind in the runes.
That's okay.
Yeah, but going up to 4 points, double conquer into double holds.
Yeah, he did call the bluff from Shin, not having the Rengar in hand, so only having the Master to develop and nothing else to play, putting him pretty far behind in points.
It's like a pretty big development turn as well, and pulling back to keep his units safe. One more double conquer, double hold, and he would be in a fairly favorable position here.
Yeah. Again, not a Rengar from that top deck, so looked like a first mate might be able to do the double conquer thing again. Yeah.
Looks like
4 points.
Another Master Yi double conquer. This time, no Falling Star to save him. Can't even Falling Star to clear both units because Master Yi goes over the might threshold for Falling Star.
Go ahead.
Is that double discipline, double defy?
It does look like that. At least some breath of fresh air here for Shin, being able to, you know, have units on both battlefields and hold runes out for the first turn. So holding up 5, there's a lot of options he has in his hand to be able to play.
4 XP, right? No, it should be 2
And
XP,
always,
right?
you know, 5 runes open, potentially Rengar.
Yeah, I was thinking you can only get 2 in a turn, but it's like, yeah.
Alright, let's see what he has up his sleeve here. Will he concede, or will he try and go for the double conquer hold?
It does look like a punch first in hand as well, so 2 discipline, 2 defy, and a punch first to play with.
5-0.
Very stressful for Rek'Sai here. So many runes up. Only so much you can do with the amount of might you have on board already.
Target both.
Another
falling star. Defy can't stop that.
We do have discipline to bump the mites off of
I'll
both
discipline the first mate.
units. Discipline out for the first mate to keep him alive.
First mate has...
Draw card.
Playing on a knife's edge here because the way combat works is if you can't kill that first mate, and he goes over with punch first and kills your unit, combat's gonna resolve and that first mate will heal all that damage up. That's surprising though. He had double falling star in hand.
It's a very solid card again out of these red decks. Being able to recycle 2 of your runes, but in key positions, take back board state advantage here. Rake sitting here determining if he has enough to get through to a battlefield and get through what essentially is a couple punch fists or punch fists and a discipline from Shin's side.
I have a feeling these next few turns will be very decisive. Whether Rake is going to run out of gas or if Shin has no way of dealing with Rake and his kill spells, his very high aggression. That being said, if he does want to play these kill spells, it will tax his already low runes, and he can only really afford to play 2, both being able to be defied here.
Yeah, the other question is, you know that Shin doesn't have any units developed in board or on base, and potentially doesn't have the Rengar in hand, so you could conquer one battlefield and try and pray that he doesn't top deck a Rengar next turn.
This has assault, by the way.
Yeah. 7 to my 6. 3 HP.
3 damage taken.
Oh, punch first.
Looks like the punch first coming out here.
Now, do we have the Rengar to match? Rengar could be really good here. Though I don't know what other one cost spell he could play or unit that is able to get past the discipline. Looks like Rengar is coming out. May have miscalculated and not have sent in that pike though.
5, 4, 3, that's 12.
12?
Yeah, interesting to see that the pike is still sitting in base.
3 damage taken.
12 to 11, 3.
This is one of those turns where it's very brutal if you let Master Yi heal back up, if you don't discipline him. So that's 5 might on Rengar plus 4, 9 might total. So that's going to be 12 on the side of Rek'Sai to Master Yi's 7, 11, yes. So 1 discipline, 1 on guard is enough to push him over. Does Master Yi have it?
Does he want to commit here? Because with Pike being in base, Ray could still have, with that 1 rune open, a way to fight into that second battlefield. So Shin has to also consider, does he want to give up 1 battlefield here? Or does he care about, saving the first mate more?
Looks like he will be conceding the battlefield.
Sounds good.
I will tap in, you can bullet first.
And then Rake also gets that, trigger off of Rek'Sai after being able to stack his deck in a certain way, even though he only has 1 rune open. So I'm not sure how he'll be able to play a card here.
You have 1 mana.
Though if I were Shin, I think I would have kept the Master Yi alive. You hold, I believe he goes to 6 with XP, and then he's able to gank over to cover the other battlefield if he wants to.
5. Play any unit, this guy is gonna get clapped.
It's like he thinks the 2 runes up is representing a discipline from Shin.
I mean, that's the most reasonable assumption, right? 2 runes, discipline.
Yeah. I mean, if he does play a card, he could get it defied as well, which might not be counted in his math.
I don't think there's a yellow card. It could be a cleave, but I don't think it could be any other yellow card.
Yeah.
But if he does play the cleave, you cleave early, you try and bait out the the defy, and then you swing in.
Okay. Hold the 5.
Looks like he's just gonna pass after that turn. Conquering only one, making it a little hard for Shin, seeing if he has the Rengar in hand or not.
Hit rookie. Trigger buff.
Star Spring.
Star Spring over.
42.
Yeah.
Go to 6. Candle lit.
Shin might have this in the bag. Taking the not
Bottom
so
one up on top.
fast. Or putting not so fast on top. I doubt Rake has another falling star though. Still, not so fast is a
And
very
no red runes
versatile.
there either.
Yeah, still a very versatile card for Rake though, or for Shin though, because you can play not so fast into Hidden Blade. You just can't play it into Cold a Week. That's an asymmetrical card.
It would be pretty devastating if he had, you know, Cold Weeks here, but if Rake could
can't get another
develop
plus
with,
two, right? Doesn't work like Rake for sure. Okay, it's
you
just
know,
one
one-drop
play.
recruits and then Cold Week, that might be another swing back into Rake's favor.
I mean, double Cold a Week though, then you'd only have one rune to play with, and I don't believe he's playing Victor. Can't tap the legend to make a.
Yeah. Six runes is a lot to deal with there on the Master Yi side, as the Rek'Sai player. Again, still haven't seen Rengar coming out, but again, 5 runes there threatening the Rengar to come down at any time.
Looks like he's committing into swinging onto that battlefield. Should be plus 1, so 4 might plus 2, 6 might total into 4.
This one?
The Discipline coming out.
Inferno probably is in hand here if he is going to swing into that. Or at
I have
least
one more discipline.
another way for
Good.
him to deal with it.
+1.
Although with double discipline might be a little bit more difficult now.
So 8 might.
Up 2, Blood Rush repeated on Pike.
How many in hands?
Huh?
How many in hands?
3.
3 in
So you're at
hand,
4,
Blood
6.
Rush
Blood Rush
If
is
it resolves.
could defy that.
Oh, so how much
And
that
the
is?
Defy
8 right
coming
now?
through.
8. 8 to your 6.
Yeah, these guys die.
It's like he can't get through that battlefield.
Yep, looks like he
Yeah,
ran out of gas. Double Under Titan in hand is
brought me into a not so
brutal.
fast
Yeah.
and I had a discipline in hand.
It's like that's
Oh,
GG.
yeah,
Shin being the
you're
winner
good.
for this game.
No red runes.
With a
I
little
want
time
to
left over.
6-6 like a like grand strategy in my deck for fun.
It's a pretty strong matchup we
Yeah,
had
I
here.
did too. I did. I deserved
I got
that.
double falling star.
With the Rek'Sai player, sadly not being able to see, you know, those Under Titans. Anytime he top decked from the Rek'Sai legend, but even though without seeing those, pretty solid showing here from the Rek'Sai player.
Interesting last match for us to end off on. And of course, thank you for watching our stream.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Remember, again, Vendetta Proof's coming out soon on the 24th and 25th, and then we have our July skirmish coming up on Sunday. So feel free to come back and tune back in for those long day of games.
And if you buy card art products, they'll let us out of the basement.